Greetings, everybody. Hello and welcome. This is the War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave EXVIUS Championship 2023, the Gouga Cup. This is our last manual tournament of the year that we are going to be doing here for the almost. Yes. So this is the last. This is the last qualifying tournament, and then we will have the finals. Right after, just a few weeks from now in December. So please look forward to that. Anyway, today is the qualifying tournament, the last qualifying tournament for the Gouga Cup. My name is Justin. I am the community manager for War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave EXVIUS. And of course, I am joined by the always enthusiastic and the lovely Auronnj.
Lovely is okay. It's another new word for me, but hey, everybody, I'm Auronnj. It's great to be here. Looking forward to all the battles today. Last manual qualifier, so a last shot to make it into that big tournament in December. And, you know, manual battle, no matter what happens today, I will definitely see something I didn't expect because that's happened every single manual battle so far. So let's do it.
Cool. So this is a sort of a worldwide sort of there's a lot of participants from around the world that are in today's stream. So just wanted to give a shout out to all of them and say hello. Thank you everybody for participating in today's tournament. We are going to be starting at the semifinals. The tournament has already gone underway. We've had 4 people proceed forward into the finals here, or the semifinals, and then we will watch that and then get into the finals right afterwards. So yes, anyway, we have some information to go over, some stats to get into about today's stream, some other information before we jump into the matches. So first up, let's take a look. One thing I wanted to note is that we are on a 30-second delay just due to the nature of manual PvP, that sort of stuff. So it's going to be maybe kind of hard to respond to any questions, that sort of thing, in real time. Anyway, so the War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave EXVIUS Championship 2023 is a global PvP championship that will be held over 8 months. Starting in April, and the first and second place winners from each auto qualifier and the first place from each manual battle qualifier will have a spot to compete in the World Finals in December. So will you be the War of the Visions Championship? Will you be the winner of the War of the Visions Championship? Probably not, since this is the final match of the qualifiers. So if you're not in it,
your opportunities are done. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So moving on here. This is the roadmap. We're at the very end of it here. So the auto tournament, as you can see, is going to be on December 9th. That's coming up in just a few weeks. That's going to be at 6 o'clock PST. And then on December 16th, that's going to be the manual one. This is where we are today. This is a qualifier for that manual match. That will be at 6 o'clock as well on December 16th. So save the date. Pull out your Siri, pull out your Google, pull out your Bixby, set the date right now.
So is that right? Are those 2 tournaments at the same time that this one is?
This one is an hour earlier.
Okay, so they'll be an hour later than this. Okay, that's how I that's how I remember everything. Is I just have to, because I can't tell world time compared to I just know 1 hour plus or minus. Okay, so 1 hour later than today.
Yes.
Is next month's tournaments. Great. Okay, now I got that down.
We are on world time now. So we've had time change. We've lost our daylight savings. We're on world time PST now, or until March, just FYI.
We are no longer saving daylight.
Yes. All right, so
time's terrible.
Here's the specific date here. You can see we're down at the bottom. We're PST. So yeah, that's now. So yeah, anyway, moving on here. Oh, we got an updated image here for the World Finals manual battle. So the champion is going to get 100,000 Visior, and the second place winner is going to get 50,000. Third place, 25,000. They're going to get an original trophy for first place, second place, and third place, and then those beautiful in-game titles there. I actually can't really see what that first one says. It's a little too small on my screen there, but you guys can read it. It's too small. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, moving on here to the next one. For today, the prizes and gifts that we have today is we've got the Achiever of Glory title for the first place winner, and they will also get a spot in the World Finals Discord title, an interview on Discord, and that lovely trophy there. You guys now the second place, and all other contestants, they'll be getting a title, and everybody will be getting a PvP t-shirt as well. Very lovely stuff. So we are at the match rules today. Would you like to talk about the match rules?
Sure, I can run us through that. So it is single elimination, which means if you lose the best of 3, you are out. It is friendly matches. No auto battle today. Speed at 1.5 times, which that's a little bit less relevant in manual than auto for sure. In auto, people mess that up all the time. Today, people are moving around by themselves, so it's not a huge deal. Initial placement changing is allowed. Once you're in the room, you cannot modify your attack or magic stats. So no changing your comps once you get a little scout of what the enemy might be running. Our cost limit today is 230, and of that 230, at least one of the units must be MR or lower in rarity. If you want to run more than one, you can, but you cannot use Quicken. Quicken is nullified. For the first 2 that you'll see on the screen and the matches that have already happened, those are best of 3s. So you just got to win 2 of them to advance. The finals will be a best of 5. So you got to win 3 to win that trophy and earn your way into the grand finals next month. Boom.
Boom. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, look forward to that. We got a room number ready, so we're ready to jump into the action. We'll get there very soon though, so just hang tight. A couple more things to get through. So yeah, here's our code of conduct. From what I understand, today has been pretty good so far. Anyway, to ensure a fair and safe environment, we request that players respect the rules of the game and do not cheat or exploit any unintended advantages. All matches will be recorded and judged. If any instances of unfair gameplay are discovered, one or more of the following penalty measures will be applied. There's first a warning, second a forfeiture of the prize title, third a disqualification from the tournament, and fourth a suspension or ban from competitive play. No bueno.
Maybe more importantly, I will be disappointed in you as a human.
Indeed. You will get the dad look.
Yeah, dad look. And teacher look combined into one. Just
ooh. It sounds like a critical look.
I use it a lot.
All right. So for the code of conduct, purposely attempting to crash the game after a match. Purposely attempting to crash the game after a match is strictly prohibited. If such behavior from a player is identified, they will be considered disqualified. A player may also be barred from entering any future official tournaments if they have been determined to be acting in bad faith by the management staff. We would like to clarify our regulations and process for addressing the use of cheats or exploits. If a player is penalized by a judge, the fact will be alerted to everyone during this live stream. If the first warning is ignored and the player commits a second offense, they will be immediately disqualified. If there is any reason to suspect misconduct, the management staff may return to the log for review after the tournament. If misconduct by a player is identified, they will be penalized as stated in the rules. All right, very serious tone there. Yes, don't cheat, please. Anyway, we've got some lovely viewer rewards lined up for today. So, you guys may know how this goes. Basically, during the live stream and after the live stream, we will be counting the views on the VOD or the video. So get those views in there. We have until November 21st at 11 o'clock p.m. or 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, I imagine. So 8,000, we get 50 Gill Snappers, 10,000 Shardless Purple, 13,000 Shardless Yellow. I think we've always hit these, so just be sure to keep up with that, please. It's nice to get those rewards.
Yeah, the Shardless are really valuable. That's select shards, essentially, for your barracks. So
yeah, especially during the Reincarnation Festival.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. All right, so we've also got another secret keyword for today. So fill out the online form. I think the link is available, but we don't have the word available yet. So hang on for the secret keyword. The rewards will be 100 scrolls of vicissitude. And yeah, so please look forward to that. It'll happen during our break, which will be in maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours or so, I believe. So please look forward to that. And finally,
You just keep going. I was going to try and guess the keyword, but I probably shouldn't do that because I bet
Don't
I get
guess
it right. Okay.
You're gonna bamboozle somebody out there.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Anyway, so just one small update here. We've hit the milestone for the rewards for the Discord. Those rewards have already been sent out. If you are interested in PvP, the War of the Visions PvP official tournament is available there for you to scan the QR code and join the Discord server. You guys can talk with like-minded individuals. Perhaps there will be, other tournaments that will be advertised there in the future. Either way, sign up, get in the Discord, discuss with people, go sparring, have some fun with some other fellow PvP enthusiasts. Cool. And let's take a look at the bracket here really quick. So this is the bracket that we're looking at today. So Leal, is that how you say that? Leal?
I was going to ask you, Leal? Sure.
Leal. We'll say Leal. Anyway, they have progressed. They have beat EXVIUS, whom I did an interview with a bit ago. Anyway, we've got Chase versus All is going to be against Leal for the first semifinals match, which is already ready to go. On the other side, we've got Surf Taco that's going to be going against a previous manual battle tournament winner, Luca. Luca won the manual battle tournament before the official War of the Visions PvP tournament started. So they are coming in on their laurels, but they didn't qualify for the final match in December. So that's why they're participating today. Yes. So yes, look forward to that. I think this is going to be a very interesting fight that we have going forward. Anyway, we've got the first player card here. So let's take a look at that. Once we get through this, we can jump on into the matches. So let's pull that.
I say oh no because I've seen these, and you guys are in for something here in a moment.
All right, so let's take a look at the first one.
This one's not too bad. So Leal from Thailand, favorite character, Halloween Lucio. So a new character, actually really new character. And he says, give me the chance. Well, Leal, here is your chance. You've got it now. I would love to see a little Halloween Lucio today. Although running evade in manual, I mean, that's hard. That's tough. So we'll see. Maybe we get some Halloween Lucio today, though. I would love to see it because I think that character is really cool. And I thought that character overperformed in the last tournament that we had. Kind of encouraged me to pull for him. I'm slow building him myself right now.
Indeed, me as well. Is that correct? I2. That sounds correct.
I2, yes. Sure, that sounds awful, but we'll go with it.
All right, so yes, that's Leal. And we've also got Chase versus All from the US.
Here's the one I was excited for. So this is Chase versus All from the USA. Favorite characters Ramza goes with Summer Glassy's picture, and his message / shout out is just me making a whale noise. I did this. Okay, if we have any like DBZ fans out there, you become Super Saiyan in response to a need, not a desire. I had a need to make a whale sound on the last stream. Now somebody just wants me to do it, and I don't know if I can, but I will try. Here we go. You even switched to my face. You captured that magic or whatever that's. Yeah, you can tell we got the teamwork down over here. So there you go. There's your whale sound for the night.
Awesome.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate you.
No, thank you. And I guess thank Chase for the request and the desire there. Anyway, so we're actually ready to jump into the first match. Do you have any guesses on who we're going to be seeing? This is a manual battle. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, I don't. Manual battles to me are all. I've been wrong every time I've guessed, basically. And so I'm just not going to guess today. And that way I'm not wrong or right, which seems better than just straight up being wrong. Okay. Bart's and Summer Jaden on the screen right here. Okay. All right. It would be really cool if Leal was running a follow-up attack team, because Irvine just came out for Final Fantasy VIII. I've seen videos of this online where you run Irvine and Bart's together, and then they both do their follow-up attack buff. And every time you attack, you get multiple attacks in. Now, we don't have an upgraded lightning yet, so I don't think we'll see her mixed into that group. But it could be Bart's, Irvine, and we couldn't actually see all three of those anyway. You cost limit and all of that would run into you there. But it could be Bart's, Irvine, something. Actually, is that possible? Because Bart's is a 100 cost unit. We're at a 230 cost limit. Irvine is gonna run you. Hold on, let me get my infos all pulled up here. What's an Irvine gonna run you on cost? I have my units sorted by water. Irvine's going to be 90, so you could run a cost 40 unit if you wanted to run those two things. We'll see. Both players are ready, so we'll find out here in a moment what everybody's actually doing as I sort my screens into a more usable usable space. So if it is that, and it is not, it's actually just, okay, it is Bart's for the follow-up attack, but it's Bart's and 2 missile units for the follow-up attack, specifically 2 ranger-type missile units, like not guns, bows and arrows. And it's Summer Lilith versus Summer Lilith. In fact, Chase's team is Summer Uni. So we'll call it the Summer Uni team. Even though Uni does not have a Summer model, he is rolling out with Summer Jaden and Summer Lilith. Summer Lilith is a very, she's good. I think she's a good unit. And note the bow. Now, you can't really see it very well. She's kind of behind that salt or pepper shaker shaped pillar on the screen, but that bow is Fina's TMR, and this is one of the older tricks out there, is that bow, the auto attack has a chance of charming a target. So even if that's not Chase's entire strategy to go out there and do some like cheese with some charms and stuff like that, if things start going weird, or you get inflicted with a frostbite or something like that from Curry where you can't use your skills, your auto attacks now have a chance of maybe winning you a fight with a little RNG luck, something like that. Uni, we've seen perform very well in the past, and I think everybody who's played the game for any amount of time knows what Curry can do, right? Long range, frostbite is just devastating if you can land it on the enemy team. And so we'll see. Jaden one's up right here, probably going to do his buff. Jaden needs about 2 turns of buffing, in my opinion, before he's a decent damage dealer. So he needs to get his AP restore going, and he needs to get his damage buff online. So Sun's out, Guns out. That's agility, critical evade, and AP restore. So there's the first half of that. The starting positions here, Leal is definitely tucked as much into the corner as possible. We'll see if that's what he wants to do. He's being very cautious with his movement so far, and both players are playing range. This is very much a throwback to the original manual battle kind of days, where everybody stood as far away from each other as they could, cast every buff in their kit, waited for those buffs to run out, then cast every buff in their kit a second time, saw that turns were running out, and was like, well, we'll just see who wins on turns. And that was kind of the meta for manual battle for a while. Now we do at least see Chase being a little aggressive. Lilith moves up on top of the mountains right here. She's trying to sort through all these bamboo stocks, see if she can find some damage. She's at 112 AP, so she could afford to take a round of frostbite. She just will do nothing. She's just going to move up there and chill. Okay, Bart's turn next. Now, this will be the key to Leal's team. He needs Bart's to get the follow-up attack on, so every attack launched by his missile units, Bart's will add that little damage on as an extra helper right there, trying to kill people. I'm curious. I wonder how good that'll work. I think Irvine would be a better option here for that, because Irvine himself could provide that ranged attack follow-up too. Like, he can also be ranged attacking while having follow-up attacks, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll see. Maybe Leal does not have a Irvine. Irvine was, is a limited unit during the Final Fantasy VIII collab, which did just end. I think you can no longer get those, I believe. It ended very recently anyway. I don't know what day it was exactly, but here we go. Okay, Chase moves up. The game has frozen for a moment here.
It looks like
we might have a DC. We'll see. It could be a spectator bug as well. We'll wait and see what the judges have to say about that. It was Thailand versus USA. Sometimes when you get these big jumps in geography, it can provide a little bit of a problem for either the spectators or the players playing, but we'll see. All right. Meanwhile, I will talk about things in the game. Mostly I'll talk about Uni, because Uni's not someone we see all that much, except I feel like every manual tournament, so like every other month we see a Uni. Here's the deal with Uni. One of his support abilities is range +2, which is a big deal, and a bunch of accuracy, which makes him very, very good for manual. Then he's got these like massively long range skills that turn off haste, nullify quicken, immune CT changes, and dispel haste. So not only immune, but dispel. The range on that move is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it hits up to 8 squares away, boosted by 2. You're talking 10 squares away. That is a map. That is across the map. So Uni is a very safe unit to tuck into a corner and just start dropping bombs. Single target resist debuff with a move decrease moved in, or fixed in there as well. Interesting thing about Uni, main job, no TP skills, none. That is rare. You don't see that very much. So you're forced to go to sub job for a buff. Does have the vigilance buff, which is in the ranger sub job, which is like a 1-turn evasion steroid. Probably not going to be seeing that much, but it does give you access to sharpshoot. And then the other sub job for Uni is black mage. Only TP skill in that, or has 2 TP skills in that job. Osmos, which is a TP absorbing move, and Toad. So the trick to Uni is you can run Spellblade for magic resist spirit buff, right? That'll give you 1 TP move, and magic barrier for the magic shield. So you're kind of forced into that if you want buffs, or you're forced to use a TMR to generate AP, which makes it a little bit interesting. All right, here we go. We're back in it. There's Bart with a 1 HP Summer Lilith standing next to him. Bart's reapplies his courage buff. It's going to be the Lilith's turn next, and Chase's Lilith is already dead. So what is Leal's Lilith going to do? She's got 68 AP and 1 health. She's still standing across from a Jaden and a Uni. It's going to be her turn, and then it's going to be Curry's turn next. So we'll see how that works. One thing I want to mention about these follow-up attacks from Bart's, they are particularly good at killing units with courage. If the unit who fires an attack, like here's Barrage, right? Now let's hope the follow-up. Here's follow-up attack. 6,000 damage follow-up attack. 5,500. Oh my gosh, never mind. That is good at killing units. It's good at killing courage, and it's good at killing re-raise. If it does 6,000 damage, like re-raise is often something that you'll see survive a follow-up attack because you have a couple thousand HP left. Not here. Leal's team just walks out and drops Chase's team. The follow-up attack from the Barts is that's gonna have to be figured out, because that was incredibly strong. And we got to see the power of missile with a follow-up attack, which is Bart's is not a brand new unit in the game, but we are starting to see some units with that ability. I would love to see a Bart's Irvine comp today with a Uni, and just have Uni like drop that massive barrage across the map, and then have Irvine and Bart's just following that thing up. That'd be sweet. So GG, good first fight, Leal. And there it is.
Yep. So we'll be jumping into the second one. This is a best of 3. So if Leal wins the next one, then he will be proceeding into the finals. So yeah.
Pretty cool. I'm going to go look up a little info here on Bart's follow-up attack. I want to compare it to Irvine's and see if one of them, like just... I want to see if one of those follow attacks in and of itself is better than the other. So give me just a second to get that info up. Bart's follow-up attack dispels protected shell, which, I mean, don't count that out. Then is a typeless, colorless physical damage attack. It's like a small modifier, right? A small modifier. But still, a small modifier move was hitting for 6,000 damage. Irvine's follow-up attack over here is, again, typeless and colorless, also small modifier, but with no added bonus. Like Bart's removal of protected shell is a big deal. So that might be why Leal went with Bart's instead of Irvine, because you get the better, like in and of itself, Bart's is a better follow-up attack. The one area where Irvine is better, Bart's has to be within three panels of the person who he's following up. Irvine can be 4 away. So you can actually have Irvine kind of space out a bit more, dodge some AoEs, and still be launching follow-up attacks. Love the team comp, though. Really cool 230 cost limited idea there if you want to run that follow-up comp. And if you don't know, the way follow-up attack works is like follow-up attacks have a range, but the range that the follow-up attacks have, like for example, Irvine's follow-up attack range is 4. That does not mean that he needs to be within 4 tiles of the unit to shoot them. It means he needs to be within 4 tiles of the friendly unit who he's following up on. It often makes those characters, like Bart's, for example, his follow-up attack is potentially his highest ranged attack because it's purely based off the range of the unit that he is following up on. So sorry, gotta adjust my sock right there. It's like,
my goodness,
weird.
So
anyway,
it sounds like potentially these follow-up attacks is one of the biggest shakeups that we've seen in manual PvP since the game came out.
Yes, I would say so. Again, we always talk about manual PvP back in the day like it was a nightmare, and it was. And so that's why we talk about it like that. But the increase in range helps a lot. The increase in like range buffs, like support abilities, getting another range added to them. And if you remember like maps back in the day, does everybody remember the map that I don't know what it was called? Maybe it was called like Arena 2 or something, or Castle Interior. I don't know. But it was the middle area was like range height 1 lower. And then there was 2 side areas that you like stepped up some stairs onto. And you could get, I want to say you could get like 25 tiles away from your opponent if you were opposite corners. Like there was no hope in, you could corner cap. Like it was very, very possible. And do you remember what map I'm talking about?
I'm trying to remember here.
Okay. It was one of the, back in the day when the game first launched, if you went into a friendly match, this is the map you played on.
I did not do that back in the day, so.
Okay. Starwolf guessing my attire. No, Starwolf, I'm wearing black sweatpants. I'm actually all decked out in black today.
In a red tie.
But that was a red tie. Not only a red tie, but the only in existence War of the Visions
That's very true.
Championship PvP 2023 tie. One of one. Someday this gets hung on the wall next to my jacket. Yep. No one else in the world has this. I think this might be one of the only things I have like that.
Well, you are one of one.
Yeah, I was gonna make some cheesy comment like that, but that's lame. Like, it's too lame. I would only make that comment to like little kids, and then I'd look at them like,
right.
And they'd be like, "Yeah, you're lame." I'm like, that's what I was going for. So thanks.
So we're just waiting for the second room here to set up, and then we'll be jumping into that. So you think these follow-up attacks is something we're going to see all day long?
Hope so. It was cool. And what it does, I like that it is a way of removing courage and re-raise without worrying about having a buff that removes courage and re-raise or a skill that removes it. I think that's really neat. It's Bart's on a missile team, not something you expect to see, but there we go. One thing that would be cool to see sometime later in the game is a unit that was built completely around that, where they had like an aura buff, similar to like Squall's damage reduction aura, but some kind of buff for their teammates. And so you built this unit that's like really slow moving, meant to cast a buff that provides like an aura to his allies and a follow-up attack. That would be a really interesting idea for a future unit.
Interesting.
Yeah,
these follow-up attacks, I'm not sure who the very first person was. Was it Noctis?
Was it Noctis? Yes, I think it was probably Noctis.
Because when Noctis came out, I was like, finally we have an Elena counter in some way. But
yeah,
that didn't really,
honestly,
it didn't really pan. Like in my head canon, it seemed to work a little bit better, but I didn't really see that happening too much.
Well, and like it was a counter for the most annoying parts of Elena, which was you had to kill her 3 times. Yeah. So Noctis's follow-up attack The thing about Conjure Armiger is, remember how I was talking about the range on Irvine's follow-up attack is like 4? The range on his is the whole map. Like he's always in range to conjure Armiger at somebody, and it's a large modifier, or it's at least a medium modifier damage. It's really good. Conjure Armiger is a really good follow-up attack. Anyhow, the problem with it was it scales off of magic,
Right.
which Noctis is that weird like hybrid kind of deal, dude. So anyway, we do get to see Bartz again. So Leal might be running the same team, and Chase goes to a Flag Glassy comp. I want to mention though that there's a lot of magic in that Flag Glassy comp. She's probably the only physical DPS unit on that team. It's
Leela.
Flag Glassy, Halloween Little Leela, Adelard. Okay, so Adelard coming out here. I did not expect to see an Adelard. Now, Leal is going to run the exact same squad. What is Chase hoping to accomplish? Justin, do you have an idea of what Chase is going for with this Halloween Little Leela Flag Glassy Adelard team?
I don't know.
I do know something about Adelard.
Well, I mean, Leela, of course, has extreme range on a lot of her abilities.
Yep.
So maybe.
And
that's one
Adelard
of
has
the
a
angles.
jamming thrust with a lot of range.
Yes.
But I'm checking something right now. So Adelard's a guy way back in the day I used to run against missile teams in particular because he has like a base 25 missile resist. Leela's base missile resist is -5, so that's probably not the build, idea there. What about Flag Glassy? She is a good unit against missile, I believe. So maybe that's the plan here. Also, you do get the elemental advantage against the Lilith, but an elemental disadvantage against the Curry. So it's kind of all over the place here, I guess. I don't know. We'll just see how it plays out. Let's see what Chase's plan is. I'm sure he has one, and I'm sure this team was prepared for a reason. We'll just have to see what that reason was, and if that reason was countering Bart's follow-up attack, long-range missile comps. I doubt it was, but we'll see. All right, here we go. Adelard moves off to the side. He's going to be looking to do fast cast is a really good buff that he has now that gives haste. He's got those jamming thrusts from range. Here's fast cast on himself, so activation time down, haste up, and unit attack resist up. The unit attack resist will help against the follow-up attacks. Follow-up attacks are single target attacks, so stack that unit attack resist and try not to take 6,500 damage from every follow-up attack. That seems like a good recipe for victory. Let's see here. I don't know. He's running away. Chase is running away. Bartz is going to do his follow-up attack buff right here, I believe. So he's going to put his self buff on. Calculating. He's thinking about it. He's got his sword in his hand. He's doing that little wiggle that they do. He's hiding behind that bamboo tree doing the wiggle. Here it is, Defiant Courage. So follow-up attack 3 times. That is turned on. And now if Lilith is in range, the follow-up attacks will begin to rain. She moves up next to Bart. She moves just to the side of him. She might be in range of the Glassy right here. In fact, I'd be surprised if she wouldn't. I can't tell exactly how many tiles she's away. She's not. Okay, so she's going to back off and start looking to do something else. She already has AP Restore on, and she's going to go Courage. Okay, so there's the Courage, Nullify, and Paralyze. Paralyze, Paralysis, Nullify, Courage buff that she just cast on herself. And then it's going to be Flag Glassy's turn. Now, Flag Glassy's got a little bit of a problem here. If she moves into range and looks to do a bunch of damage, she is then going to be hit by Curry. I love the move up buff right here because if you don't choose to move into range now, you can save that for the next turn. So I think that's a smart play. And this will at least force Curry to walk forward and attempt to get into range. And Chase might just have these ranges like figured out, right? He might have played this enough times. He might have played against these units enough times to just know I can be exactly this far away from them and I'll be fine. And if so, We'll just see. We'll just see. So Curry steps up. He's thinking. He's doing his little wiggle like he does. Elemental advantage. He is going to look to buff, I think. I don't think he's in range to shoot anybody here. He's going to go Summer Sharpshooter. So there's effect range up and attack up for himself. Leela's going to cast a Protect on herself. She is staying very safe. And it looks like Leela's job on this team is going to be to heal. I don't think if you're going like... If you're going Commando Bomber Leela, she's not moving back there casting a Protect on herself. She's probably moving forward looking to do something else. Adelard's going to apply another haste. This time onto Glassy. So there we go. He's hasted. She's hasted. Leela's up next. She could also haste herself, or she could look to drop a Protect on Glassy, and Glassy could be trying to 1v3 here. That might be the idea. Leela is circling around the side. Let's see. She's thinking. She's going to do nothing. Yeah, she just did nothing. So she just preserved CT, chose to just move and not take action. All right, Glassy's turn. Now, she is a bit of a ranged unit. No, she's not a sharpshooter or a sniper or anything like that, but she could throw that spear a really long way. It's just that she have a good target yet. Her best target on the enemy team is going to be the Earth Element unit, Summer Lilith, who is tucked pretty far away. So Glassy just steps back a little bit and will chill out right there. One thing that Chase could be thinking is waiting out Bartz's follow-up attacks. There's a couple of turns left on that, though, after this turn, and he can recast it, I believe, and I will look this up as the characters are just kind of wiggling back and forth. Bartz can recast the buff Defiant Courage one more time. So a Defiant Courage, despite the name, is not a buff that gives you courage. It is a buff that gives you slash attack, resist penetration, and the follow-up attack. So he just gave himself courage, but that was not actually him replenishing his buff Defiant Courage. Instead, that was him casting a courage buff on himself. So there we go. Anyway, Lilith scoots forward a little bit. She's gonna look to do something. She's at 205 AP, so anything she does, she does not need to generate anymore. She's good with what she has. She's gonna go Divine Grace, max HP up. Okay, I mean, that's something. If you got nothing else to do, I guess you could just do that. Curry's turn. Next, he scoots over there. Again, looking at his ranges, seeing if he's in range to do anything. Mostly just making sure I have to talk over very, very little action. That I think so far that's been both players' goal, is just to make sure that nothing happens, and I just need to like continue this monologue about things. So yep, there's King Curry. He moves next to Bartz. He's doing his wiggle. He's gonna go Shadow Bite. So there we go. 1257 lands the Immobilize, and the follow-up attack follows. Now that Immobilize is a big deal, because even though she does have range, and by she I mean Glassy, she has a nice bit of range. She does not have the range to match those two actual range units. Is there an Esuna or something coming out from one of these other two characters? Maybe. We did see Leela cast Protect. I'll go check. Does little Leela have an Esuna? Does she have a way? Yeah, there's Esuna right there. So there's the Immobilize remove. And with the casting time reduction from Adelard's fast cast, he's able to get that Esuna, applied to Glassy before it's her turn. So that's pretty critical. Now Glassy can either choose to move in and attack, and if she does that, she has Leela ready to heal her. So expect her to be full HP after whatever it is that she does on this turn, and she might just look to like rebuff herself here. She probably, I don't know. Yeah, she is just going to go Spirit of Wazette. So there's the accuracy and the shield for 3 turns. And then she'll just stand there. This is going to be Leela healing, I would imagine. Probably just single target heal and not move, preserving that CT again. We'll see. Chase knows what he's doing more than me. Here we go. Leela just doing the little Leela shuffle. Yep. Don't really. Okay, Leela, go ahead and apply that heal. If you're going to do it. No? Yep, there it is. Height base cure. 5684. She was only down about 2500, so it overheals her. But this is not, World of Warcraft or something where we have healing meters calculating how much overhealing you've done. So just full HP versus full HP. And with 30 actions left to go, both teams at maximum health. But that must change pretty soon. Eventually, they do have to start trading blows. This map is not long enough to just take it all the way to turns. All right, here we go. Bart's gonna do something or nothing. I am right. He will do power stance right here. So attack up, spirit down. That spirit down, I mean, it'd be really interesting if like Leal ends up nuking Bart's and kills him exactly at his HP to like end the game or something. But still, that's just Bart's generating some AP, continuing to just be himself. All right, Lilith looks at Glassy and thinks about it again. She's gonna do what? Just nothing. She just chooses to do nothing. A lot of that today. Adelard, 7,300 HP. He is dancing about. He has lost his haste. He could look to reapply that to himself, or he could look to do something else. Let's see. Fast cast. Adelard's main buff that he's bringing, he's cast it twice already. That move has 3 uses. So if he's reapplying haste to himself or to Glassy right here, it will be the last time he can drop that haste for this fight. We'll see. Glassy moves up. She's at 10,000 HP. She does have her shield online, which should help to keep her safe. But another benefit of that follow-up attack is it counts as 1 hit into a shield. Now, Glassy is tempting fate a little bit right here. She moves into range of everybody. It's about to go down. Everybody on Leal's team is going to get a shot at her. Curry, with 114 AP, can definitely do his frostbite applying attacks. And if he lands a frostbite, that could be a big deal, except there's been so many turns of buffing. Glassy has a lot of AP to juggle with. We'll see. We'll see. Curry gonna go Shadow Bind again, looking for the immobilized. Once again, lands it. Follow-up attack for 2208. That's pretty strong. And now that shield has 1 hit left on it, and Glassy's a little chunk. The fast cast goes on to Leela. So giving little Leela the buff right there is potentially a big deal because it will let her go before Lilith gets to go again. Bart's probably needs to reapply his follow-up attack buff at this point. I believe this is his 3rd turn since his 1st turn, which would make this like his 4th turn, whatever. I think his follow-up attack buff is either wearing off now or about to wear off. So there's Defiant Courage. That is the reapplication of the follow-up attack buff. So here we go. Leela's turn next. She could definitely look to drop another heal. She moves a little bit too close for comfort if she ends up standing right there. I think with her long-ranged AoE heals, she could definitely heal from further back, but Chase might know that he needs to do a little bit more damage, so he could be moving Leela into DPS range as well. Either way, I do expect to see a heal come out here. Leela moving. She's gonna maybe think about moving back there by Adelard. Gotta watch out for time. Your turn can time out. We see that happen, and it did. So that turn did time out. Leela did not actually cast anything, but that's probably intentional because now she will go directly after Lilith. I think the thought here is let Lilith hit Glassy, let the follow-up attack hit Glassy, let that drop her HP low enough that Leela's heal will actually have like full value, and then Glassy's turn comes around, she'll be full HP instead of healing her before all of this and then all of that. So drain charge, 800 damage, not much there. The follow-up attack for, oh god, that's playing with fire. Like Leela, I think, was trying to maximize the value of her heal. Well, you did it. You get max value out of this thing, but it almost cost Glassy her life. So finally, a little bit of excitement here. Chase, now you probably are going to heal this time. Here it comes. Do the biggest healing value spell you got, Leela. We'll see what that is. And then it's still immobilized. So we'll have to see what Glassy does now that she can't move. All right, here we go. We're chilling. Go ahead and cast it. We all know you're going to do it. There it is. Height base cure. 5684. Essentially undoing the damage from the follow-up attack by Bart. And that's it. So Glassy, the premium unit on Chase's team, the 100 cost girl, is struggling a little bit, can't move, and now it's Bart's turn. Bart can now afford, if he has the range, to move in and start attacking. Oh, Keenblade. Now, CT up. There is ban on Quicken in this game, but there is not bans on CT manipulation. So something like Keenblade, something like Ildira's Limit Break, those are allowed. So this is a really clever move from Leal right here, moving Bart's up there. Now, okay, yeah, Glassy's dead. Glassy cannot survive 2 attacks from these ranged units plus the follow-up attack from Bart's both times. So this will remove Glassy from the fight, maybe just temporarily, because there is the full life chance from Leela. So there goes Glassy. She's popped. She goes down. She will stay down for now. What can Lilith do? Lilith, are you in range to start shooting the other units? And do you want to expose yourself? She is going to expose herself. Shadowbind comes out 918 with the immobilize. The follow-up attack for 2890. So Leela goes to half HP and cannot move. Is she in range for a full life? Like, that is something to pay attention to here. So I'm going to find out. It's Adelard's turn now. He can heal Leela. He's casting a spell. It might be an Esuna for Leela. That would be my guess. Allow her to move. Leela's full life. Let's see the stats on this. She's going to heal herself, which makes me think she was not in range for it. So White Mage Leela has full life. The range on that is 4 straight ahead. I think that puts Glassy 1 or 2 tiles out of range of that buff. Okay, Bart's turn next. Bart needs to just make sure he stays close enough to his ranger friends that they can, he can launch his follow-up attacks. If he can do some damage, I think that's an added bonus. Otherwise, just keep him safe and just use him as this like artillery battery that he has been, and he's been very successful at so far. Okay, this is important. It might not seem like reapplying that shield was a good idea. It was a good idea because that Bart's follow-up attack is a turn-based buff. So if he does nothing and is generating more turns for himself, it will limit the amount of times he can follow-up attack by increasing the amount of turns he has. So with a unit that is a follow-up attack based unit, that's what you're trying to get out of them, having them be slower than your other units, or at least not preserving their CT, is a kind of low-key kind of big brain thing. So I'm not surprised to see Leal move his Barts and have his Barts cast what seemed like a maybe pointless TP move. It was just to delay the turn. It was just to delay his turn and allow his follow-up attack to keep rocking. Now, this could be Shadowbind number 4 from Lilith right here. I think that would be the smart play. Try to bind the Leela again and prevent her from going in full life in Glassy. I don't know how many uses the skill Shadowbind has. I could look that up because there is always these indecisive moments right here. It's going to be the limit break. So no, goes with the beach attack limit break. Interesting. So throws the water melon up into the air, drops the bomb, 24-23 damage right there. Gets the AoE resist buff. Not in range for the follow attack from Bart's though. Or did the spectator? No, spectator didn't crash. Just not in range for the follow-up attack. Interesting. Now, Shadowbind has 5 uses, so she definitely could have gone with the Shadowbind. That limit break that she just did, though, does also inflict immobilize, so that's why she went with it. It decreases missile resist by 38%, can immobilize, increases her range by 1, and gives her 20 AoE resist. It is a beefy move. This is going to force Adelard to just go start doing other things, right? Like, this immobilized follow-up attack comp from Leal is really annoying to fight against, I feel like. I bet you Chase is just like, come on, man. How many times is my Adelard going to cast Esuna in this fight? And maybe that was the reason Adelard was brought along. Now, okay, Bart's is going to start committing here. He is the non-missile resist, or missile unit, and he one-shots both enemy units and just ends the fight. So this fight that was a bunch of just like missile attacks and follow-up attacks, Bart's the whole time was just like, just powering up. He's like, he's charging up that giant spirit bomb the whole episode, and then it finally becomes time and he walks up and just blade blitzes the enemy team. GG. Leal takes down Chase and moves on to the finals. All right.
Yes,
we did
congratulations.
not see Halloween Lucio, but we did see a lot of Bart's follow-up attacks and immobilizes.
We did not see Halloween Lucio, but we did see something equally as scary.
Ooh, I like that Halloween scary reference. Very good. We are seasonal here.
That was quite the match. I like that we started that with you saying that Manuel has sort of changed from turtling in the corners to basically doing just that.
In the corner. Yep. It's really evolved into turtling in other corners. But you know what though? That's okay. Like Chase, at least I'll give Chase credit here. He lost the match, but even though he knew he was outranged, he did at least attempt to run at the enemy. He did. He was trying. The immobilizes kind of prevented him from doing that, and Leal knew his ranges and knew what he had to deal with. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be jumping into Surf Taco versus Luca here. So it'd be interesting to see if we have another follow-up comp or what was going on there.
I really want to see an Irvine Bart's follow-up comp right now. I think that would just be super cool. Like every time you attack somebody, you get 3 attacks. That's awesome.
That would be interesting.
Okay, yeah. So those other two are preparing their room. I'm gonna vote Luca for this one on the vote in chat. But here we go. Here's Surf Taco's page from the USA. Favorite character is Perrine. And shout out is thank you to Bismarck for War of the Visions calc. Yes, Bismarck is the man, and War of the Visions calc is a wonderful website to use for all of your War of the Visions needs. So a very good message shout out right there from Surf Taco. Yeah, if you've never been to WOTVcalc.com, highly recommend checking it out. It helps you take your War of the Visions game to the next level. Guarantee you all these players are using it religiously that are playing in these tournaments.
Indeed, there's stats for anything that you could imagine on there. So go take a look. All right, we've also got Luca. He is a previous winner.
Yes, previous winner, but as you mentioned earlier, a previous winner before the official championship series. So his old win did not get him into the finals. So playing to try to work his way in here. Italian player, favorite character is Jaden, says stars can't shine without darkness. True. Okay, Justin, I have a question for you. I like to ask this question to kids, and they usually get it wrong.
Okay.
Is it dark in space?
Is it? Well, I mean, I think that comes down to your interpretation of what is darkness, right? Is darkness the lack of electrical
dark
signals?
Would be the lack of light. Is there a lack of light in space?
Well, there is nothing in space. That's why they call it space. Are there photons from
there's
some
planets and satellites and asteroids? Space is full of stuff. Is it? You're dodging the question. Is it dark in space? You are dodging. This is a yes or no question.
Okay, listen. Let's just think about it like this. If you look into space and you see black, there's literally nothing there.
But see, the trick is space is actually so full of light that you can look into space and see things millions of miles away. It is not dark in space. Space is like if you're in a spaceship and you get out of that spaceship, you'll die. But before you die, you can look back and see the spaceship you got out of very clearly. There's just a lack of things for light to bounce off of in space. I think that's why people think it's dark.
Well, right, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you had no external light or internal light on that ship at all, if you had no lights on that ship, you would not be able to see it.
Is that true?
Yes. Unless there happened to be some nearby star or something.
Yes, the sun.
Well, right. I mean, are we talking intergalactic here? What are we doing?
I don't know. It's just a fun question to think about. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to this question. The kids get it wrong because they're all so sure that it's pitch black in space. The wrong answer is it's pitch black. It's definitely not. But I don't know what the right answer is. It's just it's one of those fun little thought experiments you do when you're like, ooh, I need to fill 10 minutes of teaching right here and I really don't want to start another thing. So you're like, kids,
right? Is
it dark in space?
Well, let's see here. So we cannot perceive, infrared, ultraviolet, that sort of stuff. A lot of light from early in the universe is redshifted. So
okay. So maybe it's even brighter than we think.
Yes. Anyway, something I wanted to bring up about Luca.
Do we have a room number?
We don't yet. Something I wanted to bring up about Luca is I had an interview with him a couple months ago. I did an interview with some past PvP participants, just asking them, how they got into PvP, manual PvP, that sort of stuff. And Luca, this wasn't part of the video because we were chatting before and after, that sort of stuff. And I said, Luca, how come you weren't in the manual PvP tournament that we had? And he was like, why do I need to be in it? I already qualified. And I was like, no, you didn't. You're not qualified for the finals. You have to. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try for the next one and get in.
Excellent. If that makes it seem like if he wins this thing, that's kind of cool because it just means that all he needed to do was just play. He was like, oh wait, I need to qualify. Hold on, let me just go do this tournament and I'll win it real quick and qualify. Yeah, he's like, I'll only win. If you go 2 in a row, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Indeed. So it'll be very funny if that's what ends up happening. So I guess we'll see here.
We shall see. We do have a room code now, so we're jumping in pretty quick.
Yep, jumping in right now. So let's take a look. I watch a lot of theoretical space universe videos on YouTube.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like, that stuff's cool. I wish more people were into that instead of, like, you know, other stuff. Okay. Here we go. Now, Surf Taco shows Uni. We were right when we talked earlier about seeing a lot of Uni in the game, or in manual matches. So there's another Uni coming out. And Luca shows Bridal Elia. So here's the deal with Bridal Elia. Is she necessarily great in manual PvP? I don't know, but she's probably just so good that it doesn't matter, and you could just run her and run at people and then just take them out, right? I think that could be the play here. One thing that is good is shields. Shielding is very, very good in manual PvP, especially number of hit shields, because you can apply that buff early and then apply your next buffs, and you're fine. Elia has access to a shield. She has access to very strong self buff that also buffs the AoE resist of her group. She has the tools in her kit to run at somebody effectively. You throw a haste TMR on her and you've basically got like the combo that is Bridal Elia. That team from Luca has a lot of magic on it. The team from Surf Taco has a lot of attack. So Surf Taco could be running another follow-up attack team featuring a Uni. We'll see. Elia probably running with yeah, okay, it is. And it's Elia Soul Slime. So, okay. We see 2 very meta units in Soul and Elia coming forward right here against another Bart's follow-up attack team. Lilith, Uni, Bart's. Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see if the meta auto damage units can close the gap and kill the manual follow-up attack, potentially new meta units from Surf Taco. Lilith being out here again, I like that. Expect to see a lot of immobilizes. I wonder if Elia or Soul, and this is not something I know off the top of my head, but I imagine I have plenty of time to look it up, have access to moves that disable immobilize or make immobilizing them harder. That would be worth knowing. So Soul does not have immobilize resist. He is floating though, so I feel like chaining him to the ground would be even extra effective. Soul is naturally a little bit weak to missile. Let's see, does he have a buff or anything that gets rid of immobilize? I don't, like, in my gut, I don't think he does. I don't think he has anything that helps him against immobilize. I just wonder if that'll be a big deal again, is why I'm like looking at all of this stuff. He poisons people. Yeah, I don't see any immobilize info there for Soul. For Elia, that will be worth looking up. Let's see here. Chat's probably already like spamming it and, you know, in the chat.
There's a delay. You're okay. There's a delay so far.
Oh, right. There's a delay. So by exactly the time they say it, I'll have mentioned it and then I'll look really smart. So Elia does not naturally have any immobilize resistance. In her kit, so Dancing Flower Blessings is Elia's like biggest buff. It's 30 AoE resist for her and her squads. It's 20 slash resist. It's haste for the whole team. It's haste or grants the fall. I'm sorry, it's not that. It's dispel auto revive for the team. If it was haste for the whole team, just uninstall. It's courage for herself. It's physical damage up for herself. And hate down when she drops a certain amount of HP. So there's nothing in there about immobilize, you know, ignoring or anything like that. In fact, I don't see anything about it. So, okay, neither of them are particularly good against immobilize. It's not something I've ever had to look up before, and I just tried to look it up real quick. Both of them excel at one thing, though: killing other people. So we'll get to see some killing coming on here. They're shielding themselves, they are preparing to go do the damage, and then they have Slime for heals and buffs. We've already seen Slime apply his agility buff to both of them, speeding them up a little bit with his accelerate, and now he's in the background waiting to drop some clutch heals. I saw somebody in chat, I don't know which person it was, they were mentioning something about Dragon Quest and how they were hoping for a Dragon Quest collab, and I was going to say we've already had one, There's Slime. There's the proof right there.
Oh.
The main character from the Dragon Quest series, Slime. I don't know if he's the main character, but he's in every game. There he is. So he's out here doing his slime thing. And then we'll see if Surf Taco is as successful at piloting this team as Leal was. One thing to mention, Pissarro does have elemental weakness against Uni, but Uni has elemental weakness against Alaya and Slime. Bart's follow-up attack, excuse me, already bringing out the yawns. It's way too early for that. Bart's follow-up attack is non-elemental, so it just doesn't matter, what color he's playing against. There's Shadow Dance. So there's the shield from Alaya. So now they both, her and Soul, have their shields on. So both of them are ready to start closing that gap a little bit. Alaya does have elemental weakness against the Earth unit in Lilith. So lots of elemental things at play here. We'll see. It didn't end up really mattering that much last time because the range was just too much. And Immobilize might end up being a thing again here. I don't believe Lilith was in range for a Shadow Bind there, so she's just going to kind of back off. Probably look to buff herself or just do nothing, preserve that CT a little bit. Uni could look to start moving up as well. It looks like on this turn order thing, if Uni does nothing, she will just immediately go again after Slime. So Uni could move up, not take an action, then move again and hit everybody. The problem is she would move out of Bart's range. The Bart's is a little bit too far back to launch follow-up attacks where he is. And so I think this will slow Surf Taco down and prevent him from actually like running up and doing much there. So arrow fall from distance. So haste, nullify right there. No follow-up attack from the Bart's. Interesting. Was Bart's out of range right there? Or is his follow-up attack, like, does it have a bad range height on it? Like, is it range height 1 or 0? I'll look that up right now. I fully expected to see the follow-up attack launch. Let me check on that real quick, because if so, that will make things a little interesting. There's range height 1 on Bart's follow-up attack, so I'm wondering why it didn't launch. Maybe he hasn't applied the buff. It could just be that he has yet to buff the follow-up attack. He's going to go Keenblade right here. Okay, so a little CT manipulation. He's going to... Bart's needs to move forward. I'm just going to say right here, Bart's needs to move forward. If you're going to keep him in range to launch those follow-up attacks, which is his job on this team, he needs to move up. Uni has AP problems right now. So this is one of the reasons why I thought Uni might not do what he did on the last turn. He's got enough AP for like one more really clutch move, maybe. Let's see. He could hit a big AoE attack right here, and if that could be followed up into, maybe you kill Slime or something. Here's arrow fall. So there's the big AoE, quicken, nullify, all of that stuff. Almost kills Slime with the follow-up. Does hit Alaya with the follow-up, and now it will be Summer Lilith's turn. Big damage right there coming out from the Uni Bart's combo, but not nearly big enough to let those monsters on Luca's team get in range of your team. Okay, Lilith, what can you do? You need to immobilize Soul. Let me just tell you, that's what you need to do, and she's gonna go for it. So Beach Attack is gonna come out. Watermelon's up in the air, fuse is lit, arrow of light and fire comes down. Immobilize on the Soul. That's a big deal. Soul was looking really, really healthy over there with his little shield, and he was looking to move in and do one of those, I pick you, you, and you attacks, and that you, and you tend to disappear when he does that. Now Uni's in trouble. Alaya is going to one-shot Uni if Alaya gets the chance to. I'm gonna go ahead and predict that happens. But is she in range? I can't exactly tell how many tiles she is away from Uni. Nope, just the stag impact onto the Lilith. And even through the elemental disadvantage right there, Lilith almost drops. Now Soul is floating in the air, but immobilized. He's chilling, and he can't do... Does Soul have a heal? Like, can Soul actually whip out a heal right here and heal up Slime and Alaya before Uni and Bart's get another turn? He's going to go Veil of Truth instead. So protect, strike attack resisted, shield back applied. So that's nice. Does get his shield back online right there. The protect is dispelled by Bart's follow-up attack. Bart's is going to reapply the follow-up attack. That's an interesting play because Bart's definitely could have gone all in right here, looked for a blade blitz or some kind of big attack from himself, trying to just kill the enemy team. But if you're Surf Taco, I I don't know if I can overstate this. You cannot let Soul and Elia get in range of your team. They'll kill them all. They will just kill it. This fight will be over. Like, your team is cool and it does really neat stuff. The raw power on Luca's team is just tough. So there's Punishing Arrow from the Uni. Move down is really nice, and the 5800 follow-up attack is extra really nice. And now Lilith can kill Elia. Even if Elia, like, as long as Lilith can do whatever that sliver of HP right there is in damage, then the follow-up attack will kill her even through a courage or something like that. So Lilith has 44 AP. That's plenty to do a move. I don't know if you risk moving her forward right here, hoping that you can, like, hit everybody. She can hit everybody from right there. So there's the barrage. And this is the combo. You hit everybody with the attack, the courage procs, Bartz kills it with a follow-up attack. And then Bartz does one. Okay, once again, Bartz does not follow up attack on the Soul. That's it. That's 2 times Bartz has not follow-up attacked Soul in particular. Am I missing something here? Is there something going on that I'm not understanding? Does Bartz's follow-up attack not work on units with float?
Follow-up attack resistance.
Follow-up attack resistance. He has follow-up attack resistance. So maybe someone in chat knows what's going on here, and I'm about to learn something about this game. We'll see. I learned, like I said, I learned something new about War of the Visions every single time I watch manual PvP. Now, Soul still can't move, so he's going to stand there for a minute. I'm going to go read Bartz's skill right here. So I'm scrolling. It just says Dispel, Protect, and Shell and do damage. And he was definitely in range to do the follow-up attack. Does it, like, only trigger 1 time or something like that? I don't know. Soul's barrier prevents the damage. He can't follow up when no damage is dealt. So that's an interesting interaction. It sounds like, according to what chat is saying, Soul's barrier prevents. So, okay. Maybe this is how it reads. Bart's follow-up attacks damage on the enemy team. Technically speaking, she damaged a shield, not a unit. So, because a shield was damaged and not a unit, the follow-up attack does not target shields. It only targets units. So that must be how that works. And in fact, JB confirms that in chat. So JB, definitely a very well-versed manual and War of the Visions player, says the barrier negates the damage, so the follow-up does not occur. So there we go. We were on it, at least, with what's going on. Uni from downtown will go arrow fall. That did 815 damage, and there now the follow-up attack comes. So there we see, and the protect removal counts right there. Here comes Soul. Soul has 9,501 HP, and he's going to look to do some damage. He goes for Bartz, does not quite kill him. Bartz lives, but Soul procs his chaotic healing. Now here's the deal. It's going to come down to this. Surf Taco, you have 1 round of turns to kill Soul, and Bartz does it in 1 move. Bartz out here just annihilating people, and once again the missile team wins. Surf Taco picks up the match. GG, good game, and we'll go to the next round with Surf Taco up 1-0. It is. Yes. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, please, if you could. Please.
I just got to check. So, like, people sent me messages reading this thing. Discord message here again, confirming about the shield and also confirming that Uni is a male. And I really have been trying to get that right.
You have been doing very well. I didn't hear you slip up.
Apparently, I must have, because here's the thing with chat. Chat never. You can be right 99 out of 100 times.
Yes.
The one time you're wrong, chat is like, what's wrong with you? And there's a lot wrong with me is the answer to that question. A lot. Big wrong. So, okay. Close match.
Yeah. So, I do appreciate Luca running more of a traditional meta team. We'll see if he switches it up a bit. He usually seems to have a lot of things in his chamber ready to go. I would say that composition didn't really work out too well for this follow-up attack comp. So, back to the drawing board, possibly. Like, I don't see how it can go better than that unless he just rushes in as fast as he can. Then you got run the risk of being immobilized. So
some kind of immobilized resistance, or like immune immobilized.
That could work.
There are definitely TMRs out there that could help you in this regard, I believe. I have to remember what they're called to find them. And remember how I mentioned that I have many things wrong with me. One of those things is I do not have every TMR in the game memorized. But nope, that one doesn't work. Dang it. I was going to say Ayaka's TMR is a ranged shield buff. It's only 20% shield, so that's why you see other shields being used. But it does not immune from status effects. It actually just dispels them, and immobilize is actually not one of those status effects. So I was thinking that would be kind of a cool way to get around it. I'm sure there are other ones out there, though. And again, probably chat is just going to help us out here. One thing, when Bartz came to Global, he was free, right? Free to get. We all got him for free with the collaboration. Yep. And he was widely considered our best free unit we've ever gotten. And his power has been on point today. His follow-up attacks have been what those teams are built around. But both times that he has gotten in range to use one of his own attacks, he's done about 13,000 damage to every unit that he's hit, which one-shot the soul. And so Bartz is, I mean, don't sleep on Bartz, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, Bart's the real MVP. I'm going to agree with Skyark there. Bartz is the real MVP of this tournament so far. Okay, Frederica's TMR nullifies immobilize, but only on one unit at a time. Interesting. So that could be an option if you're running what we saw with that like Glassy comp where she really needs to be able to like move. That could be useful. Does Celis's TMR nullify immobilize? Well, I can look. We can look that up, and I will do that.
So how? Okay, so let's just assume that, you know. Well, okay. Let's say Luca proceeds forward. How would you counter this Bart's follow-up attack, Uni sort of, Lilith sort of composition that we see going on?
Okay, he started in the same place 3 matches in a row. I'm going to assume he starts there again. I start my units completely on that left side, right across from him, and then I take advantage of Rob's TMR or something else that boosts my CT, and I give myself haste TMR or something like that. Like I just run units that are bulky enough to close the gap, and then as quick as I can, I haste and CT buff myself across the map and just try and knock him over. Or I run a missile comp straight across from him, and I maybe run double follow-up attack or something, you know, some other follow-up attack comp. And indeed. I mean, you could just play it against itself.
For sure. Yeah, we're just waiting for the room to finish here. So yeah,
we've got a few more moments. Yeah. Somebody asked about Celis's TMR. It nullifies Silence, Paralyze, and Berserk in an AoE. So it does not. We have not said the secret word already, Diamond. I imagine that will come during our break, and usually our break is right before the finals. So secret code word incoming soonish, I would imagine.
Possibly within 20 minutes. We'll see.
Or possibly within an hour if we have 2 more games and they both play missile teams.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, Frederica's TMR has nice range on it. It is a single target buff, 4 spots away, nullifies, disable, and immobilize, and stop. All 3 very devastating status effects. Frederica's TMR, though, not something you see played very much these days. Try protection. Huh. Do you remember, Justin, when people thought Frederica's TMR was like a decent piece of gear because it had 434 HP on it?
I don't really remember.
You remember that?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
400 HP.
I remember. Yeah, I mean, you know, back in the day when everybody was wearing like a +0 golden armor and they're like, yeah, right. Here we go. Frederica's TMR was just made you beefy. 12 accuracy, 12 crit. My goodness. Turn off that buff, but we couldn't turn off buffs back in those days. So you just sort of did it. Yes.
Yeah, you know, speaking of back then, I remember sort of getting into the game, and then I had like Ayaka, and I like unlocked her whole ability board, and then every single like battle that I would get into, Ayaka would just like immobilize. It's like, I need you to do something else, please. Anything else. People were like, "Oh,
she
no,
was there.
She has it unlocked. She's not going to do anything else."
Yep. Like it was funny because like the good Ayakas back in the day just did not know the skill. You used to just not go all the way down the skill trees before you could turn abilities off. So if you learn to mobilize on Ayaka, you ruined her.
All right.
Okay. So Luca's gonna bring out King Bradley. I like this. King Bradley is one of my one of my personal favorite units in this game. Top 3 on my personal favorites: Squall, Eileen, and Bradley. That's probably my top 3 favorite units in the game. So here he comes. He's gonna try to do some things. Let's see. Now look, just as I call out Surf Taco for always starting in the same spot, he starts in a different spot. But Luca brings Zazan, the killable. This is not Zazan the unkillable. This is Zazan the very killable. But look at Bradley. Just says, okay, wait a second. Look at this. Bradley just says, what missile units? I'm just going to kill them. That is what I'm talking about. That's how you get that. Like, look, take this missile team. You're all dead. It's haste. It's speed. Bradley runs across the map and just deletes 2 people. Okay, now Bartz, look. Bartz, listen. You've been good. You've been the MVP so far. Can you go toe-to-toe with this squad? Because we got Zazan the killable right here too, who could charm him. I think that's probably what Zazan was brought into this map to do, is just charm. And Murderous Blade.
I think he bowed out.
Yeah, at this point, I think
he walked up. He didn't do anything. He bowed out. Without a doubt. That is a very, very sportsmanship move right there from Surf Taco. So Luca wins in the world record for fastest manual PvP match ever. No kidding.
As he guesses Surf Taco's starting position with Bradley, and Bradley deletes the entire team. Very, very well done right there. You love to see it. That was my favorite manual match of the year so far. Easy. One of my favorite units in the game. Win.
So now here comes, like the positioning is now going to be more important than ever in this next match.
Oh yeah. I'm going back to my corner if I'm Surf Taco. No matter what, that can't happen. I think in that corner you're at least protected from that. He might have 40 chest himself. He might have been thinking, hey, he's going to try and he's going to move over there thinking that this stuff's going to happen. So I'm going to move over here. Oops.
All right. So yeah, that was interesting. Luca took a while to join that match, so I knew he was setting something up. So.
By setting something up, you mean he picked King Bradley and Ally and was like, here's 2 really good units.
Well, he's probably loading up the trust stones, agility, everything else.
Sure. Hey, speaking of trust stones though, Justin, did you watch the last live stream on the JP side?
Yes.
Well, it's all the worldwide side, right? So we could talk about all of this stuff.
It's nothing's official, but anyway, hypothetically here in Minecraft.
Hypothetically speaking, in Minecraft, when you make trust stones, you get to eventually just pick what trust stone you make instead of the random factor. Yes. You want to talk about something that makes me feel very happy? My heart is very excited about. It's that. Oh man, can't wait. That's an awesome change. Speaking to loading up trust stones, you could just craft a new set once that rolls around.
Yeah, my laziness when it comes to creating trust stones has paid dividends. I have all that time in my life that I could have been doing trust stone stuff saved. I was doing something else, and now I don't have to worry about it. So how big of a dividend is that paying? Was that paying 8%, 4%? $1 million.
$1 million%, dude.
Yes. I nice. really struggle with focusing on some things like that. So
sure.
Re-rolling. It's not even the re-rolling. It's just okay, I got this attack one, but I can't put missile on this one because I need to use the missile over here. So I need to take it off. I put it over here, and then I go over here. Okay, but no, this TMR actually buffs attack, and I need to do. Wait, this one's water. This one's lightning. This is going on a lightning unit. No.
Yeah, it's awful. All that part of it is terrible, but it's so worth it because you get the power up. Like, it's a huge power up. But now,
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're also going to be tying them to units, I believe. Oh my gosh! Like, you're talking about elemental attacks. So in Minecraft,
Yes.
on my private War of the Visions Minecraft server that I run.
But I have farmed quite a bit. I have a lot of shards sitting there. I have a lot of tickets. I haven't used any of the Mog Shop medals or whatever that you get.
Yeah.
On the,
Yeah,
I haven't used those in a while. So, all right, we got a room number here. Jumping in.
Okay, let's do it. I have a prediction for this next fight.
Okay, let's hear it.
I predict that it lasts longer than the last one. I predict it's not over in 5 moves.
Probably. And I also want to shout out that Luca is using the Achiever of Glory title. So when we switch over to that, pay attention to that. It'll be up there. Also, look,
so
you can see my cat
title.
hands here. You can tell I have cats.
What did you do to make your cat so mad to bite you? Nothing?
Well, I haven't clipped their claws in a while, so it's just sort of...
Oh, they got clawed then.
I got a clawed on my finger here. It's a rough life.
Ouch. My son and my cat have developed this relationship now where when my son is like eating food with his fingers, he'll just hold the like peanut butter up to the cat and the cat will just go ahead and clean those hands. It's very useful. You know, yeah.
Interesting.
Sometimes I've
been pretty fortunate that my cats seem to have literally no interest in anything that I eat or drink. So.
Oh yeah, I got a cat that like would eat a sock if presented to him in his food bowl, and then he'd be like, "Why am I throwing up? Oh no!" All right, so Luca is showing Zazan the killable again. Surf Taco sticking with his guns, showing the uni. It could be the same teams because Luca's attacks value is so high. There could be a Bradley Elia hiding back there. Surf Taco, well, we've seen it once. We've seen it twice. We're probably about to see it 3 times. I would not initial placement. Oh no, that is a farm and a Chunok. This is a water evade team.
Interesting.
I think.
I love seeing the farm. She had a brief moment because she had I think she has like a re-raise or a courage removal. I think it's re-raise.
Yeah, and like she was one of the first people that could do that well.
Right.
And so okay, I did not expect this. Chunok would have been it was not on my bingo card for things I thought we would see today. Now, if Elia hits them, they're all dead because they're all water element. And Elia, I mean, it's Elia. So let me go see. By the way, Bradley's calculated rend. Yep. It can hit evasion units pretty effectively. But I want to look a little Elia info up here. Where are you? There we go. Elia the Alabaster. So looking through Elia's skills. Jamming impact. Does she have a guaranteed hit move? Not in her main job. For you that I use all the time, you think I just know that off the top. I do not, and she does not. So, okay, the lightning element unit will have to rely on a little bit of accuracy to hit her opponents. That's probably fine. Like, she can probably find that accuracy. We'll see what kind of, TMRs and trust stones and all that stuff that Luca is running. Now, King Bradley, on the other hand, calculated rend is not a guaranteed hit move, which you just saw farm negate that anyway. Calculated rend is a plus 30% hit move, so it adds that 30 accuracy. That will be useful, right? Like, you don't need to build as much accuracy to reliably hit them. Helm Splitter that he has also takes re-raise off and has that boosted hit chance. Let me see here. What about... Yeah, so that's it for Bradley. So he does have access to those bonus accuracy moves, but is this a little bit of a big brain play by Surf Taco? Or is Surf Taco just saying, I like to play these units, so I'm going to play them? Chunok, let's do a little Chunok talk, because how often do we get to talk about this guy? Never, ever. He does give himself his He also has guaranteed hit, resistance, which is not going to be super useful in this fight. But that buff he just did, preservative footwork, gives him 25 evade, 20 single target resist, sure hit or ignore, defense, and spirit up 30 until he's hit. So that's nice. That's nice. He's a nice little buff that he has right there. Can he close the gap, though? He is a very short range unit. I think of him more as a PvE unit with all his multi-hit attacks, debuffs, things like that. For PvP's sake, Fatal Pirouette, for example, is a point-based AoE, but the point base is around him. So you see Bradley just going into bruiser mode right here. Bradley looks to attack right there, and those percentages must not have been very good. The problem here for Luca's team is this water team is very fast and mobile. If you're playing evade, you definitely are going to have a top level agility. You might not have a lot more than the enemy team. There's an evasion buff for farm. It's very rare, by the way, to see a buff only do one thing in this day and age. Very rare.
True, huh?
Like Utsutsumi right there only negated or only buffed evade. Even the TMR buff from Elia right there at least did two things. So there we go. Farm and Chunok both very dodgy at this point. Uni, a little bit of a wild card here. I don't know that Uni's going to be dodging much. Elia tempts the gods a little bit right here, moves forward, says, I'm going to move right here, and I dare you guys to try and kill me. I dare you. They can chain you. Like, that's the thing. Chunok and Farm can put about an 8 chain on your head, and no matter what your elemental resist is, it's probably going to be hard to survive that chaining. One nice thing about units with a lot of multi-hit attacks, like Chunok and Farm have, is shields. You basically knock the shield off, right? Like, you do Dream Within a Dream, or Demise Within a Dream, I believe is what Farms is called. You have negated that shield already, and you're building the chain. Now there's the Keen Blade. This is how I mentioned I would deal with these missile comps. Let's see if this is an effective way of dealing with this evasion comp. Bradley, it's your turn. You have the buffs, you have the range. Can you do the damage? He's gonna try. Or looks like he's gonna try. He's looking at some numbers right now. He's thinking, hey, all right, I got this calculated. Nope, I'm out of there. Apparently the 30% chance is not enough. So not running accuracy. No Alexandrite rings on that Bradley, you could say. Maybe Trust Stones aren't what they needed to be. I don't know. Okay, it's Elia's turn next. Okay, Elia. These are your elemental targets. Can you get to the Uni at least? Being able to knock that Uni out would be something. We'll see. She's checking her range right here. Dejan, thank you for the raid. Welcome into the stream, Raiders. Dejan, hope your stream was great. Thank you for joining us for today's live PvP tournament. And Uni dies. Now, Uni was always going to die here, I think. Uni was the one who's not an evasion unit. Yes, he had the buffs that the other units gave him, but it was going to be rough for you, Uni. Now, Chunok might look to return the favor by killing Zazan, preventing maybe a charm from coming out later in this fight. I believe those units got a charm charm nullify buff for 3 turns early on. I think I saw that. I'm not actually sure if I did or not. If so, that will wear off. And at that point, Zazan might just, kill some people. Although Zazan's kind of beefy over there. He took that Chunok hit and he's still kicking. But Farm can go finish him off. If Farm can finish him off, here's what you've set up. Where Chunok is, and if Farm moves into range of Zazan, they are exposing their backs to Elia. One thing in War of the Visions that helps you with accuracy, the courage remove, Farm just goes ahead and just chunks Elia out a little bit. If units can get behind you, they get an accuracy buff. Basically, the worst place to try and hit somebody who's an evade unit is from the front, and it gets better the more you get behind them. Like, it's decently better from the side, and then it's way better from behind. Now, there's an accuracy buff for Bradley right there. He goes with an accuracy buff, so eventually Bradley's got to be able to hit some people. He's got a boosted accuracy attack. He's boosted his own accuracy, all of the above. Zazan moves forward. Zazan, do you have charm? Or are they charmable yet? Or are you just going to go for damage? What are you going to do? Like, what did you come here for, Zazan? I'm not exactly sure. If you can't do anything, it's probably wise to just run away. He goes with Steal Time. Okay, didn't see that coming. We're in a PvE fight now. Zazan stealing time from the raid boss that is Chunok and running away, setting up Bradley and Elia with a chance to hit him. Now, Elia does have the opportunity to get behind Chunok right here and look for some DPS, or what? Like, if she does nothing, she'll go pretty soon again. She's going to go AoE resist, slash attack up, courage again. Okay, she just reapplies her courage. And what will she do next? I'm curious. I think she does want to move, and she does move. That's important because it doesn't let the enemy just stand there and hit you. She has haste, and so she wants to take advantage of her increased speed. Had she stood there, one, if Bradley does calculated rend, he would have hit her, which that's a problem. And two, if she would have just stood there, the other two units would not have had to move to hit her, which would have allowed them to save some CT and all of that. Now, I would love to be able to see, and if we end up being able to interview Luca later, I'd be very curious to hear about what the percentages are of these King Bradley attacks landing. At this point, when he's recasting buffs again, he is literally just trying to either build up his summon gauge or let the evasion buffs from the enemy team wear off. If I'm Surf Taco right here, I am reapplying Utsusimi right here, making sure my evade buff does not fall off, because that will very much change the math on the enemy team. And I'm definitely having my Chunok reapplied invasion buff. We'll see. Either way, I'm very happy to see this all going on. Preemptivity, the preemptive counterattack misses. Courage remove, accuracy down on the Bradley. So that's a good play. And she gets her evasion up by landing that attack. So she does not reapply Utsusimi. Instead, she knocks down Bradley's accuracy, buffs her evasion, and knocks courage off of him. So big deal there. Chunok might be able to get in range to hit a couple people. In fact, yes, he is. Blade of the Fatal Waltz. Again, very PvE focused move right here. This kills Bradley. Bradley's dead to that. Yeah, wow. And with courage off, King Bradley has fallen. Chunok, the Bradley Slayer. I mean, we all knew this was how the meta worked, that if you want to beat King Bradley, you run Chunok farm and you just knock him out of the map. Of course you do. Elia, she's thinking, she's getting behind Chunok, looking for some accuracy. It's not looking good, I'm guessing, by those numbers. She can get directly behind farm. Like, at some point, unless that number is 0, you just got to start rolling the dice here as Luca. Sometimes you'll just win some fights via luck, and a lot of that attack landed. A lot of that landed. Had all of it landed, farm was in trouble. As it stands, enough of it landed, the farm is low HP, and Zazan can look to do something. We'll see what that something is. He's chilling. He's got his sword. He's going to go. Oh, there it is. I was anticipating a steel heart at some point. So Chunok's heart has officially been stolen. Now, if I'm farm, I go wake that dude up. I'm like, no shot. I'm fighting my own teammate. I'm going to walk over and auto attack him. Hopefully he doesn't dodge it. That would sure be a interesting turn of fate right here. The evasion unit with charm. Uh-oh. Can she hit him? I don't know. Maybe not. Nope. She's just going to kill Zazan. So makes it into a 2v1, but it's not really a 2v1. Farm needs to dodge Chunok's attacks. Now, okay, she does. Farm does dodge her ally's attack, but that dude, if he has enough evasion that Farm cannot hit him, will be on Elia's team for 3 turns. So a really interesting weakness of an evasion comp is if you get a stupid status effect like Charm applied to you, it's hard to knock it off yourself. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Elia's turn. She could kill Farm and run away. It says she's going to cast haste on herself again and might not take any action. I don't know. Again, the numbers just must look terrible with her into the farm. It's got to just be awful looking, because if she had a chance to kill her, you would think she would do it.
Yeah, even like a 1 in 4th, you know?
Yeah, 25%, you're taking that shot. It's Dragon Flurry again. One of the hits lands, which is enough to kill her. So it's a 1v1, and one of those units is charmed. Now, he's going to be buffing himself. Here's where the charm kind of doesn't really work that well, because what a charmed unit will do when there's no one for them to attack on their own team is they'll just start reapplying buffs. If she moves close to him, he will run to her and group buff her, which, again, that could be the thought right here. Just go up here. Hopefully he runs up next to you on his next turn, gives you and himself a buff, and somehow that buff helps you a lot. But Again, I want to see the numbers. Reaping Edge comes out, it misses. So I like this option right there, going for that attack, because if it misses, you're going to get this group buff right here. He's going to go ahead and give you Ready to Engage, which is great because he gets it, you gets it. That's great. Let's see which way he looks. Which way is the AI going to face him? So the AI faces him to the left, allowing Elia to get behind him. And I expect to again see her multi-hit attack, because that, you know, there's it gives you more than one shot. You not just have one 30% chance to hit him, or maybe she has no chance. Here's the thing, and I just thought of this. She has, okay, she does it. She goes for, okay, wait a second. Chunok dodges exactly enough attacks. He dodges exactly enough. He has 348 HP. 59 AP. Chunok, can you kill her? Because he's going to go Treasure Hunter's Fortune, going to look to dodge. He needs to at least face her or put his back to the wall. I don't know. If he doesn't, okay, not moving. She has 96, 34 HP. If this goes to turns, she'll win. Unless he can deal that much damage to her, if this goes to turns, he'll win. She's out of AP and misses with her attack. So she runs to there. Chunok, you can't, this is the last move of the match right here. You have to do almost 9,500 damage to win this. You need to do over 9,300 damage or you lose on turns. Break Flurry, 2.8. It's not enough. That is not enough damage. And so the Elia will win via HP. Luca picks up the W in one of the weirdest matches we've ever seen. And there you go. Chunok can't win.
We went from one extreme to the other back to back as far as manual matches go. That was a nail biter. Yes. That was really, really, really way too close.
I enjoyed both of the last two matches for very different reasons. Very massively, extremely different reasons. Either way, man. Hey, Chunok almost won a manual match in an official tournament. And
that was intense.
Yeah. The charm was a big deal. Like, the charm helped a ton. Because if had Farm and Chunok both gotten to go in there.
Yes. If I was Surf Taco right now, everything worked out almost perfectly.
Yes.
It was the best strategy that, they could have possibly done, but if there was a couple more turns, probably would have won it, but I don't know. That's just part of the manual battle. That's part of the strategy.
Yeah.
That's
and there's there's people in chat talking about misplays, and I think one thing that something that manual has that auto doesn't have is there's a human element brought into it at this point. You are on a timer and you have to decide what you're going to do within that timer, and it's stressful. So you just make decisions based on that. One thing chat is asking, chat believes that Chunok buffing was the mistake. It's Chunok had 2 turns at the end of that fight. The first of those 2 turns, he did Locke's TMR, Treasure Hunter's Fortune. So it's a luck and agility buff, I believe. Yeah, it's luck agility buff. So he buffs that, then turns, dodges the auto attack from Elia, then has to kill her. I think what he could have done would have been 2 attacks and just, I think the worry, I could see what was going on in Chunok's brain there was, I need to reapply my buff because if I get hit again, I'm dead, all of that. But not realizing that you don't have the damage to win in the amount of turns that's left was the potential misplay. However, easy for me to say that when reanalyzing the last 2 minutes of this fight from my chair behind the screen, not on a timer, not in the heat of the moment. And misplaying, anytime you have live sports, esports, whatever, AIs do things predictably the best way they can. People will act like people. Another thing that could have happened, Farm does have access to sharpshoot in her kit. You just played against a Zazan. Zazan's probably there to charm. you're going to play Evade, bring Sharpshoot, and break the charm as a charm breaking tool.
Indeed. You know, I find
those are the two things I can think of.
I find it kind of interesting that, you know, towards the end when we were only looking at a few turns left, that Luca decided to auto attack the Shunak with probably a very high chance of missing, instead of just trying to get as far away as possible, trying not to take any damage and then just winning that way. Ended up working out, but I feel like Luca took a pretty low chance on an auto attack to win, instead of maybe playing it safe and just getting as far away as possible.
Yeah, just run away. Yeah. Well, and like that's the thing. Shunak has 7,000 HP.
Yeah.
That's half of soul. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy low. So you had to kind of know that was a thing, I guess. Anyway, yeah, there we go.
Anyway, we're actually going to be going to the keyword here. I know everybody's very anxious for this keyword. So get the link in chat, get it ready, click on it, get your player ID ready, get your name ready if you don't know it for some reason.
We'll get my player ID ready. Hold on.
And then we will be giving the keyword here in just a moment.
Can I guess the keyword?
Yeah, you can go ahead and give it a guess.
Ninja. That's my guess.
That would be on brand, right? Because we just had Shinobi.
Yep. So that's my thought. Is like we did Shinobi last time. I bet you we do Ninja this time because we got ninjas in the pictures again.
Okay. Well, get your player ID ready. You may be wrong. You may be right. Either way, it's not a guess. You're going to know here in just 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, don't believe me until I'm right or wrong, please.
So yeah, let's take a look. Okay, we got the link in YouTube. There's a bit of a delay here. So
yeah, you guys will see it eventually. I got it open. I'm ready.
Okay, let's see.
Come on, baby. Tell me I'm right.
Da, 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 da.
Nailed it. Ninja.
Good job.
All right.
So yes, the keyword is ninja. I saw some people saying that it was follow-up attacks. I don't know where that came from, but that is not it. The keyword is ninja. There's no way we would do
multiple words ever again. We keep them simple these days, guys. We learn. Boom, I'm getting my scrolls. Getting ready for some future friend of Squall to max reincarnate someday.
All right. So, yes, very nice match. We're going to be going into the finals. They're going to be a best of 3 between Luca and... I forgot. Too many names today to remember here.
Let's see.
Between Luca and Leal.
Yeah, Leal. Yep. Best of 5.
Yes. Best of 5. So 3 points is going to be the winner there. We're going to throw to a 10-minute break. Let's just show the bracket here really quick. So here's the bracket. We've got Leal versus Luca. We're going to throw to a break, type in the ninja keyword, and we will be right back. So we will see you all very soon. Ta-ta.
The moon and stars are divided by malicious intent. One that will call forth a radiance of destruction upon these lands.
What is that supposed to mean?
I cannot say for certain, my lord. I merely relay what the stars whisper to me.
War of the Visions, Final Fantasy, Brave Exvius.
Are unusual.
Does the prophecy foretell destiny? This is a tale of those who defy their fate. Battle system. The order of action is determined by speed, irrespective of alliance. The turn order of ally and enemy alike is displayed on the left. Units' move and jump values indicate their mobility on the field of battle. Knights and soldiers may not be adept at vertical movement, but their repeated physical attacks are a force to be reckoned with. Dragoons and thieves, on the other hand, can press the advantage on uneven terrain with their physical prowess. Strategize your timing and movements to claim victory. Jobs and abilities. Select from 3 jobs to set as a unit sub-job, thereby augmenting their main job with subcommands. The abilities available in battle will change depending on the sub-job set. Interaction with other players. Friends can lend you their aid on your journey. Hone your skills and prepare for the clashes to come.
Those who rely solely on their eyes will overlook what is of true import. Should one choose to live on, even though one suffers in despair? Or should one seek death to afford one's soul its respite?
War of the Visions, Final Fantasy, Brave Exvius. Now available.
This unbearable, insufferable noise. But it won't be long now. The world we seek will soon be upon us.
I thrive on the silence of the darkness's sweet embrace. I suppose you can call me the Dark Witch lurking in the deep abyss.
Don't be like that, Rafi.
Finding someone in this crowded place is like finding a needle in a haystack.
What? You mean they tricked us?
They're the ones who are meant to be our foes.
O endless void, awaken.
It's our duty, okay? Don't interfere. The dark craving for blood and destruction that rests in my accursed left hand. I grow unable to restrain it. Yes. Talk about stylish.
The moon and stars are divided by malicious intent. One that will call forth a radiance of destruction upon these lands.
What is that supposed to mean?
I cannot say for certain, my lord. I merely relay what the stars whisper to me.
War of the Visions. Final Fantasy. Brave EXVIUS.
Are unusual.
Does the prophecy foretell destiny? This is a tale of those who defy their fate. Battle system. The order of action is determined by speed, irrespective of alliance. The turn order of ally and enemy alike is displayed on the left. Units' move and jump values indicate their mobility on the field of battle. Knights and soldiers may not be adept at vertical movement, but their repeated physical attacks are a force to be reckoned with. Dragoons and thieves, on the other hand, can press the advantage on uneven terrain with their physical prowess. Strategize your timing and movements to claim victory. Jobs and abilities. Select from 3 jobs to set as a unit sub-job, thereby augmenting their main job with sub-commands. The abilities available in battle will change depending on the sub-job set. Interaction with other players. Friends can lend you their aid on your journey. Hone your skills and prepare for the clashes to come.
We're back.
Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Happy to see you. Happy to be back. I hope everybody was able to fill out the form and get their ninja keyword entered so they can get their 100 scrolls of vicissitude. We are back from break. Yes, ninja. We're going to be running into the final matches here. So let's take a look at the bracket one more time. So we're looking at Leal versus Luca here in the finals. And yeah, so this is going to be a best of 5. So they're going to need 3 points to win. So we're potentially halfway done with the stream here today if we need to go to 5 matches. Because we've done 5 already. So
True.
yeah, 2 hours, we've done 5 matches, not bad.
No, not for manual. That's about normal. Manual matches just, they take a while. But if Luca gets his King Bradley team rolling again, we might not be in for another 2 hours. We might be here for another 25 minutes. And, it is what it is. We do have interviews with the players after it's done. So that's something to look forward to as well. And just in last month when we did the auto tournament, we had a 3rd place match as a backup spot for the finals. We're not doing a 3rd place match today, but is there anything special to anticipate? Is there any reason or anything special about this tournament where maybe somebody has a backup shot of getting in or something like that?
I don't believe so. So far, everybody seems to be on board and ready to go for the finals. So there is not a concern that we may not be able to get everything ready. So
okay,
yeah. So I think we're good. I think
Sweet.
we're feeling pretty good about it. But that's a couple weeks away, so we'll see. But everybody's known the time for a while, so
yeah. Well, we mention it every stream, so. That helps them remember.
For sure. So yeah, we're just waiting for the room number now, and we'll be jumping on in. Should be a good showcase here. Leal was definitely running the Bart's follow-up attack composition in their first few matches. Don't know what they were doing before the live stream.
That's been the thing so far today. That follow-up team looking really strong, but if it starts directly next to King Bradley, it will lose.
Hopefully Leal was watching the matches, because I feel like Bradley's going to run him down. So maybe Leal was watching and he has an evasion team ready to go. So.
All I want to see Here's what I want to see. I want to see this setup. King Bradley and Elia from Luca with some unit who is faster than them running. No. With some other unit running Keenblade. And so they both move forward, buff, get Keenbladed, and then are able to just beeline it for the enemy team. And maybe even better off, they both buff, move, jump on themselves. Like they're running some TMR that gives them move and jump. And so in 2 turns, they are able to just get there and annihilate the enemy. I think that would be the thing to do. That would be super cool. And then the match is over in like 3 rounds, no matter what. Either he guesses right and he's close enough to annihilate the enemy team, or guesses wrong on initial placement, tries, gets outranged, and loses. That would be sweet.
Yeah, that would be interesting. One thing that I believe, this may be wrong, I just sort of briefly glanced at it while I was doing other things. During the last match, I'm pretty sure that Taco, Surf Taco, that's his name, right? Anyway, I'm pretty sure that there was a charm resist buff that came out early on. I think that stopped the Zazan early on from doing any shenanigans.
Yeah, I think it was the very first turn. One of his players' very first turn, charm resist buff. It was like it was a several element resist, I believe, or several effect resist, but it ran out, and then things got weird, real weird.
Yeah, that was interesting. So we'll see what happens this time.
I'm not yawning because I'm tired. I'm yawning because the room number is taking too long.
Well, the room number is already here. I'm just waiting for it
so
to fill
we
up.
are taking too long. Well. How about that?
No, they have not joined yet. I don't want to. I don't show the room unless everybody's joined.
That's a good idea is the word I was going for. I used to, when I was running like unofficial tournaments, I had to have a button ready because I would join as soon as the room was made as a spectator, but I'd have to black out the room so we didn't get any stream snipe action going on. Indeed. But even here with the 30-second delay, it could still happen.
It could. Yeah. So there was a question, Dejan asked a question that already got answered. Just want to clarify for anybody else that happens to be listening. This is the final qualifier match for the manual tournament. In December, we have the finals, which is all the previous winners from the qualifier tournaments. We have the finals for auto and manual. So the auto one is on like December 9th, and the manual one is a week later. They're both on Saturday, US time. So yeah.
Yep. Pretty standard. They start 1 hour later than today's. That's what I remember. So today,
2 hours ago from now. It's at 6. So 1 hour ago from now, sorry.
Yeah, 1 hour ago from now. I was like, man, I know I suck at time, but I think I'm on to something here.
I'm sorry. Cool. We're gonna jump on over.
Sweet. Let's see what we got. Now I see a Bartz with a lot of attack on his team. I bet you that's a missile team with follow-up attacks from Leal. And then I see Zazan. I bet you this is Luca's Elia Bradley Zazan team that just got him into the finals. So if that's the case, and they start somewhere in the same universe as the missile team, I give the edge to the Bradley Elia team. If not, then the edge might go to the Bartz follow-up attack team. We'll just have to see. I would really just like to see an Irvine follow-up attack team. He's a cheaper unit to run than Bartz is. Bartz is 100 cost. Irvine is sitting at only 90. But I guess that 10 extra cost doesn't really help you a ton. You could go from like a cost 30 to a cost 40 or something like that. So maybe that's what people are thinking there. I don't know. We also haven't seen we haven't seen any Final Fantasy VIII characters today, which is just a shame. That's what I want to see. Final Fantasy VIII characters. Somebody bring out their Squall and let's watch him carry them to victory, because I'm very, very biased in favor of Squall. Anyway, both players have readied up. Leal versus Luca, the finals, match 1 of potentially 5, or match 1 of potentially 3, or 4, or 5. Here we go. So I'm guessing we're going to see 2 missile units with this Bartz. It is, yep, it's the Curry and Summer Lilith comp. So again, pretty standard right here. One thing Leal knows how to do is play this comp in these first opening turns, because this will be the, I don't know how many times he played this comp before the on-stream battles, but I imagine this is at least the 5th time today that he has run this exact same, initial couple of turns. It seems to not be stopping him from taking the entire turn amount to go ahead and like cast a buff and move into that little hole with the tree in it. Or we've got the spectator bug. Sometimes you get this little spectator bug where like we aren't technically connected. And I think that might be what's happening here, because Leal's first turn on the Bartz, I think whose turn it is, the timer would have run out. So I believe we could just rejoin, or a lot of times, at least when that happens, we can just
actually
rejoin.
click leave room this time.
Yeah, because we didn't like freeze up or DC. We just it just like isn't, sometimes it just doesn't sync up right. Once again, that tends to happen when you have like the global part of the War of the Visions coming into case. A lot of different places in the world connecting to each other right here. I see some new faces joining the chat for the finals. Some familiar faces out there. I see a Ready Player Will out there. I see an Odaiba Diver out there. Yep. Okay, here we go. Hydrex is out there. I see them all. Okay, so it is the Bradley Elia Zazon team. They are beginning to close the gap, beginning to move towards the missile team. Bart's moved into the hole as he does and casted a buff as he does. Lilith will now move forward. She's going to buff herself a little bit right here. She's hugging that right side of the wall a little bit. She has those scars on her legs, so she doesn't want to like get any more scars. She's probably self-conscious about those.
That's why
she's trying to stay. That's right. That's why she's a ranger now. She does not want any more like, it once it gets in your head, it's hard to get that out of there. Anyway, King Curry, one of the 2 worst dads in War of the Visions, tied with King Elda. He might be worse. Curry might be worse than Elda as a father. Not sure. It's hard. Like when you're talking about an F versus an F minus, it doesn't really matter that much. Anyway, he's going to cast his buff, and it will be Zazon's turn to go next. This is not Zazon the unkillable. This is Zazon the killable. He has 11.7k HP. So I guess I shouldn't meme on him too hard. Still, if he's hit by one of those long range missile attacks and a Bart's follow-up attack, he will probably drop. But let's see what Luca wants to do with him. Do you send him on his own kind of like solo mission up around the right side of the map here, looking to outflank the enemy, kind of flush him towards your other damage dealers? He's definitely looking for a charm, and I wonder if Leal, because we didn't get to see the first round of buffs, I wonder if Leal has prepared a charm resistance TMR or a charm resistance buff of some kind, because the Zazon is not new. We just watched Luca play this 2 fights in a row, so you should be prepared for that. There's Defiant Courage. Defiant Courage, again, not the courage buff. It is the follow-up attack buff from Bartz. He needs to move forward. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't move forward right here. He's still in range of the Curry if the Curry shoots from there, but one of the hardest things to manage with Bart's in particular when you're playing the follow-up attack comps is his very limited range. You gotta be within 3 tiles of it. What for him? I got it on the screen. Yeah, you have to be within 3 tiles in straight lines or 2 tiles in a diagonal. Or a 1, yeah, you know what I mean, 3 tile range. So you do have to watch out for that. Curry's going to go ahead and give himself the range buff. That's a good idea. Hitting from far away against Elia Bradley is smart, because if they get to you, you're in a lot of trouble. Lilith's going to step forward. One way you can prevent them from getting to you is to immobilize them. So Lilith could be looking for a limit break right here, could be looking for her immobilize arrow. We'll see. She's not going to shoot anything yet. Probably just going to do a buff. 8,000 HP, not enough to survive those monster trucks that are driving down her street. She's going to go with bells, so AP no longer a problem for her the rest of the fight. Okay, now Bradley and Elia's turn. I would love to see from Bradley and Elia haste right here. There are multiple TMRs in this game that give haste. You must move towards these units and get more turns than they do, so they don't immobilize you, stop you, and retracts all of that. Another way around that was Bradley could move there and not move again. or not take any action, right? He has 74 AP, which is enough to do plenty of moves. And that's what the plan's going to be from Luca right here. Just preserve CT without buffing. Now, I feel like he was a little bit deceived, a little bit lied to right there by the turn order bar. When he first did that movement, he looked like he would go before the missile units on the enemy team. But that is not how it actually played out. He moved, maybe lost the agility buff from standing next to Elia, and the missile units will actually get to go before him. This is Keenblade, right? Like Zazan just moved here to Keenblade. Absolutely. This is a great play from Luca. Try to buff that CT up. Okay. It's bad news. It's bad news bears for the missile team right now. If Bradley and Elia can get into range, hold on to your butts. Here it comes. Bradley, can you hit anybody from here? It's kind of on the edge of the screen. He's going to hit Curry and Lilith. Can he hit them? Yes, he can. Down goes Curry. Lilith down to 1 HP with her courage proc, and it's Elia's turn. So Elia's going to have to close that gap. Bartz is still full HP, and one thing we've seen consistently today is Bartz one-shotting people, but Elia taking a smart path right here. If you can't get into range to deal damage, don't stand next to Bradley, because then they can't kill you both at the same time. She gives herself the shield and the AP restore, so she's taking care of herself for the rest of this fight. And Bart, you got to engage at this point, man. You got to get up there and start fighting. Unless you have full life in your kit, which I know for a fact you do not, you need to set Bradley up to die right now. Or you need to set Elia up to die right now. Or just kill one of them right now. It's going to be Keenblade? Yep. Okay, it does put him interesting. So it's Lilith's turn. I don't know what that gained him. It switched the turn order between Lilith and Bart, so it did gain him that. But is Lilith just looking to drop an immobilize right here and then see? Maybe that's the plan. See if you can immobilize somebody and then have Bart's like go in a different direction. Not sure. The positioning of Bradley and Elia is going to make it really awkward to like set up an immobilize play here. With Curry out of the fight, that's tough. That's going to be tough. Let's see. Can you kill anybody with the follow-up attack? Drain charge comes out. A lot of damage right there. And the follow-up attack pops the courage on Elia. So that's great. And with the Keenblade, she's going to get another turn. So this is actually looking pretty good. All of a sudden, chooses to do nothing. Okay, Leal is playing 5-dimensional chess, and I'm a checkers player. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time parsing out like exactly what his plan is here. But can you go kill the Bradley with Bartz? If so, you win. I think if Bartz walks up here and actually just one-shots the Bradley, it could be over. But there is still the Zazan charm to think about. I don't know. We'll see. The big wild card that is Zazan. But as Bartz moves up and looks at Bradley, I feel like the numbers just don't look as good as he wanted them to. So, looking at turn order next, Zazan moves to here, and then is not on the turn order screen anytime soon because he's kind of a slow boy. But he does move there and presents a real serious threat. And Killer Cross does enough damage that even though Lilith was healing herself with her drain, she still dies to Zazan. And that's where it got weird to me. Like the turn, I guess I get what he was, maybe I don't understand what he was trying to do with the turn order manipulation, but it almost worked.
It almost worked, yeah.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Elia and Bradley are pretty OP. So now 1 HP Elia looking to end things. Going to go Stag Impact. That's 12k. That's a dead Bartz. And that is Luca picking up the win in the first match. So the follow-up attack missile team got you to the finals, Leal. But now it's lost. Do you have something else built? Or do you just think, I misplayed that, I could do better next time, and I'll try to do that? We'll see.
Maybe try and rush it a little faster if possible.
Yeah, the damage was impressive. Like, Elia got popped. The follow-up attack, once again, did 6,000 damage, which is just big numbers.
You know, rush it up there, get in and immobilize, get some damage out. That's really going to slow down Luca. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, immobilize. I mean, you got to find some immobilizes there. If that's your whole plan, you didn't land any of them. So yeah, indeed. And then Curry did nothing. Curry just died. Keenblade. I just feel like what Luca did is what Luca's done so far. And since you've been able to see what Luca's been doing so far, being surprised by like running at you with Keen Blade, you need if you can't survive running at you with Keen Blade when you had a start that was not directly across from him, your comp's in trouble, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. Either Luca's gonna win his second PvP tournament or
pretty impressive.
Leal is gonna go to the bag and pull out Soul Alaya Slime and just go power on power. That's always an option. Just put your best units versus his best units and have them just boom. We'll just fight. We'll just have a brawl. I like that style. Let's just brawl. Let's just go like, let's just make this into like ARAM. Just everybody meet in the middle of the map, use your best moves, and just see how it goes.
You know,
I think that would be.
You know what that made me think of? That made me think of I haven't played a wrestling game in a long time, but that made me think of like the wrestling games back in the day where it was just like people constantly running out. Somebody out there will know the name of it. I'm sure it's like a real thing, but I remember doing that. You're like in the ring fighting, and there was just constantly people running out. Hit him with a chair, and the next guy would come out.
I've never been a wrestling person, but I did play like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think it was. Played that game a lot, and you could always like push buttons and like you'd be playing as Gambit, but you'd have like Cyclops as the background unit, and you could like make him come in. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I've never been to wrestling either, but I think everybody that was probably around that was playing games as a youngish kid in the 90s definitely played those wrestling games.
Like I was never into hockey, but there was a hockey game that my friend had, because like back in the day, it's like your friend had a Super Nintendo, so you just went to their house and like played Super Nintendo. And like all I remember about this hockey game was every time you took a long shot, the announcer was like, "From downtown," and like we would just shoot. Because you just shoot all the time. We were from downtown, from down. Oh my! They could have recorded 2 voice lines at least and like played them next to each other.
They couldn't.
You're right. That cartridge only held one.
Like I heard, when it would be like Sega, whatever. I heard that took up an extreme amount of memory on those cartridges back in the day.
No way.
That's what I heard.
Anyway,
we're waiting for the second room number here, and we'll be jumping on in. I feel like everybody's sort of pulling it back. I wonder if Luca is anticipating any changes. Maybe it's not worth getting into your own head about this.
I wouldn't. If Bradley and Alaya are winning, I would just keep running Bradley and Alaya because whoops. And you do have the thing is, his comp has the Zazan, which didn't have to do much. Zazan does just enough damage that he's like a threat there, but also charm, wild card. I don't know. Even if you make somebody run a anti-charm TMR, you did make him do that instead of Keen Blade or something else. So that could be valuable. Oh yes, somebody mentions NBA Jam in the chat. That game, he's on fire from downtown.
I do remember.
The ball is literally on fire. And you're like, what you got on fire? You can shoot from like half court, and you have like a 95% make. You're like, yeah, I'm the best player of this video game ever. Oh man, back when like PvP and co-op games meant you were sitting next to somebody on your mom's carpet and you're both holding a Nintendo 64 controller. Yeah.
Back when you had 2 games that you played religiously.
Oh yeah.
Because you couldn't either rent them or borrow them, and you definitely couldn't buy them. Trading games was definitely a thing.
Oh, very dangerous though.
Yes. I feel like there were people that were like prepared to trade, and I was not. So I always got the short end.
Yep. There was a grocery store where I lived that had a movie rental place in it. Because in the 90s, that's what grocery stores had, was movie. Yeah. And they had Legend of Legaia, which they were the only place in town that had that game. And I would just rent it like once a week. I think I was the only person who rented that game ever, and I should have just kept it or just bought it because it was only $1 to rent the game for 3 days. but I definitely rented it more than 50 times.
What was the name of it?
Legend of Legaia.
Oh.
It was a turn-based RPG where you like your way you did attacks was you pushed like you had a bar that as you leveled up got longer and you input like right, left, down. So like right was a right punch, left was a left punch, and down was like a kick. And if you did the right combo, they would unlock a move. If you never played Legend of Legaia, that is an epic PlayStation 1 RPG. Okay, it is legendary.
I thought you maybe said Illusions of Gaia.
No.
That was a super.
No, it was also very popular to put Gaia in the name of things, I guess.
Right. Okay, we're going to be jumping in here in just one moment for match 2 of the finals of the Gouga Cup.
Oh, there he is. There's the slime boy himself. Now, Leal is just saying, look, I prepared Missile Barts, and I'm going to play Missile Barts. And Luca said, I prepared slime. Something. I don't know. Slime. I got a question for Slime. Slime is the master of being able to use weapons, right? Like, if you didn't know this about Slime, the dude can equip every weapon. Like Renoa's weapon from the last collab, she's the only one who can use it, except for Slime can also use it. His weapon classification for vision cards is sword, great sword, katana, fist, spear, dagger, ninja blade, shuriken, bow, gun, staff, mace, glove, book, boomerang. His armor is hat, cloth, accessory. Now that's what I was actually looking for. Is he can't equip keen blade, right? I know that piece of gear, and I have to look it up by looking up Rob because I can never remember what the dang thing is called. But let's see, it's called glinting armor. It is an armor, and so Slime can't wear that. Unfortunately, the dude could carry a bazooka but not wear armor. I don't know, Slime's weird like that. Anyway, listen, Luca going to the bench is surprising to me. Luca pulled exactly the comp I described. He pulls out Soul Elias Slime. So I said somebody should play that, but I was thinking Leal would play that as a counter to Luca's comp. Not a counter, just as like a different thing to fight that with. Here's the deal. We've seen Elias Soul Slime lose to this team. Like, Leal beat Luca's comp with this comp. Now, they weren't playing each other, and definitely the player that is playing matters a lot, but we'll see. We might have that spectator bug again as well. In my experience, when you get it once, you tend to get it most of the time if the same person is hosting the room. So we might have to just leave and come back a few times. Not a big deal. Gives me a chance to prepare some more valuable slime information, which, you know, all information about slime is valuable because slime is, we value you, Slime. Anyway, Slime can do physical or magic attacks, but that's usually not why you bring him. You bring him because he has an AoE 25% agility buff, which is really good. Then he has a heal and he has a 50% chance to revive. Meanwhile, we're back into the fight. There's Soul putting a haste buff on himself. He is going to start charging forward. I think that's the play here. Again, if you're playing Luca's team, you need to run down the enemy. And Luca is sticking to starting right in the middle of the map. I guess he feels like from here, he can get to wherever he needs to get in enough time. And I don't disagree with that, I guess. Okay, Curry can try to do more than 0 damage this fight. He has 51 AP, 6,600 HP, and he's standing next to his new BFF Bartz, who likes to launch follow-up attacks from across the screen. Okay, what's Curry gonna do? He steps to in between his teammates. He and Lilith have synchronized their dance with the bow. They move them at the same. It doesn't look as cool when they're like, not facing the same direction. But there's a little AP recovery up and group buff from him. I imagine this is going to be the agility buff from Slime. Even though he can't do Kingblade, he can increase the agility of your team. And so if you have units that are hasted and have agility up, perhaps you can run across the map like you did last time. Luca, except last time it was Bradley and Elia. This time it's looking to be Soul and Elia. So Slime does the agility buff, then does not move. It is Soul's turn. He already has haste. He has 12,000 HP, and he has an agility buff, 25% buff. His agility is well north of 100 at this point. Veil of Truth comes out, so there's Protect and the physical shield. One thing we learned earlier today, or one thing I learned earlier today that I did not know before, is physical shields, unless they are popped, follow-up attacks won't trigger, because the unit who attacks that is attempting to get the follow-up attack must damage a unit. If you hit a shield, that doesn't count. So that shield is, has like extra effect when you're fighting against a follow-up team. So I like it a lot. Now there's Bart's. Bart's needs to probably go ahead and trigger his first buff of his follow-up attack. His buff that is called Courage, but does not give him Courage. I think that's probably what he's gonna do. You gotta be ready for it. That's your whole comp. I know it might feel like you're turning it on maybe one turn early right here, but you'd rather it be on early than not have it be on when you get into the fight. Relentless Stance, he doesn't do it. He gives himself the real Courage buff instead. Okay, that's interesting. I guess we also didn't see what he did on his first turn, right? Like we were reconnecting, so perhaps he already has it online. Maybe that's it. Anyway, Lilith moves forward. She is not in range to hit anybody yet, I don't think, but she could choose to just take no action. She could choose to buff herself. Something will happen. Something or nothing will happen. Actually, nothing could happen. We aren't watching the AI, so players can choose to do nothing. But it looks like Lilith is just going to climb up that little hill and maybe just stand there or buff herself. She's going to go Courage. That's a smart play. Just give yourself that Confusion, Paralyzed, Resist, and put Courage online. I would not be surprised at all right here if Elia procced a TMR buff that gives her haste, potentially a Squall TMR, potentially something else along those lines. Nope, she's going to put her shield online. So physical and magic shield. Now that shield does not work the same way that Soul's does. Soul's is a number of HP damage, 7,500. That shield just reduces the damage taken. Therefore, follow-up attacks are actually effective against it. In fact, they're a little bit extra effective because the follow-up attack is another hit against the shield. So that's a 3-hit shield, which means the attack, like if Curry was to shoot her right here, his attack would, break one layer of the shield. Then Bart's follow-up attack would break another one. Then if Lilith was to shoot her, her attack would finish the shield, and the next follow-up attack would be, landing true. So that's kind of what I'm saying there. Anyway, Curry not in range yet, so he's just going to buff his range and hope to move forward later. So definitely I'll taking advantage of his range, taking advantage of the fact that Luca has to close the gap. Now Soul, again, if you're looking on the left side of the screen, it looks like Soul could move there and then immediately get another turn after Slime. We saw this kind of lie to us before. This time it holds true. So Slime's going to move up. He could reapply his agility buff, which wouldn't be a terrible idea. Or he could use some other TMR that he's running. It could be about anything, honestly. Maybe Frederica's TMR that disables Immobilize. That would be an interesting adaptation. I would really like to see that. In fact, actually Slime just does nothing. So he's just going to move forward and just be a Slime. Soul is in range. And when Soul is in range, people tend to die. 12,000 HP, 225 AP, and he's got a Bart's and he's got a Lilith that he's looking at. He's going to use his Limit Break. So Chaotic Darkness, this is a colorless attack. The big skull comes out, and then Soul goes up next to it. The big skull does a big soul-sucking blast, and it kills Lilith. That's big. Lilith's dead. It removed the Courage, so that Courage buff didn't really do anything for her. And now Bart's is poisoned. I will say Bart's does not necessarily have to fully commit to the fight at this point. You can kite back with Bart's and Curry, but Bart's and Curry doesn't sound like a lot of damage. You're really relying on that Bart's follow-up attack at this point, and the follow-up attack won't trigger unless Curry can break the shield. So you are in a tough spot right here, and I agree with having Bart's start to attack. Bart's pops the shield. I know that only looks like it did 400 damage. It actually did almost 8,000 damage because Soul had a 7,500 point shield on. So popping that shield and then doing 400 is a really, really big deal, because now if Curry hits him, Bartz will follow up attack. And Bartz is poisoned. If Bartz gets hit again, he's dead. But by not moving, Bartz conserved a decent amount of CT. He will get a turn before Soul gets a turn again. So it's up to Curry right here. If Curry can like work in a lot of damage, he's charging a shot. That's interesting. So Curry's going to use like Mega Charge or something right here. Do as much damage as he can to Soul. Problem is, Slime will heal him. I don't know. This feels very Luca favored to me at this point with Lilith dead. I don't even know if... I'm very curious to see what Elia's going to do. She's going to go Combat Supercharger, Accuracy, and move up. I like this play. So the reason Elia went back to where she started was she wanted to take advantage of the move up before she moved on that turn. Now that... the CT up on Soul procced, and it almost put him in front of Bartz. And I'm also gonna guess that Bartz did not have his follow-up attack buff on. Remember when I said on Bartz's second turn, it's probably a better idea to have this on now than not have it later? And that's what I was talking about. So here's no follow-up attack Bartz. Now he is going to be able to move up and do a lot of damage right here, but he's dead next turn unless Soul is dead right here. I do like the way he moved, maybe dodging a little bit of Elia, but I don't know that he has the DPS to do 12.5k damage or whatever Soul's HP is. We've seen it before, but we also just saw him do only 8,000 damage to this particular Soul last time. So let's see what he's got. He moves into the little hole there. He is poisoned. He's going to go Blood Sword. So look to heal himself a little bit right here. Only a 1,600 point heal, and then he takes basically that damage again from the poison. I feel like that's GG, because Soul's going to be able to move up right here, target both of them. Soul has elemental advantage versus Curry. So I mean, Curry is obliterated right here. I think Soul will probably do his select multi-target attack, and he will pick Bartz, and he will pick Curry, and they will pick dead. Oh, wait a second right here. We get a reflex. So Bartz dies, and Curry prolongs the match by 1. A little chaotic healing right there from Soul. But okay, here's what Curry has to do. He needs to move on top of that little ledge where the kind of like the offering to the shrine is. That will make him untargetable because he will have, aired out of the map. And then he can shoot from there and not be targeted by anybody because he figured out a bug in the game. Outside of that, he's going to lose. Okay, he didn't figure out a bug in the game, so he lost. And Luca goes to 2-0 with another non-missile team. So Luca going meta units and just running at the enemy. Leal going missile units, but not quite figuring out the magic combo right there. I don't know if the follow-up attack being on would have been enough, but didn't quite. So. Me neither.
Even if they did everything that they could have, that Elia was sitting right there.
Yeah,
she was sitting in the bush. She was gonna pounce out, and just she was gonna clean up no matter what. There was, as soon as that Lilith died, it was game over.
GG. Yeah, I agree. I think the problem with if I was gonna pick at this at all, Leal seems to be in love with that one spot on the map. I feel like every turn or every time, maybe when he practiced, this is where he moved to that little ledge. There's like the hole in the ground, and that spot is just in range of any sort of like CT haste manipulation, couple turns, move my Soul, move my Bradley. And both the first two fights, one of his units, and it might have been Lilith both times, or no, it was Curry once and then Lilith the second time, ended up in range of one of the enemy units, and they died. And then when you lose one of your missile units in the follow-up attack comp, you've lost a unit and a half. And you've lost the whole reason that you have you lost the whole reason you're playing that comp. And so now you have to engage with your Bartz, and that's not what he's there for. He's like cleanup damage. He's like, okay, it's close at the end and I pop off with 10,000 damage. Not, my friends are dead and I'm charging in there to try and blood sword drain tank a Soul. That's not gonna work. So yeah, anyway, GG.
GG, we got 2 points here for Luca. So we're gonna be looking at potentially match game here. Point.
Yeah, it is match
game.
point. It's match point for sure.
So this could be over in little as the next game. I really do think that Leal needs to change something. It worked.
So do I.
Like, it worked a couple times, but Luca has proven, 4 times in a row now that he can handle this Bart's comp?
Yes.
So,
yep.
With different, maybe at least two different teams. So,
yeah. Well, and I think what we're seeing, and I'm not, like, I don't like critiquing play as much as I like praising play. So I'm going to switch the way I'm saying things. And what I'll say is this. I think what we've seen is Luca is very, very comfortable with manual PvP and just knows the range of everything he's fighting and knows what to do to get there. Right. And so, and I think you're just seeing a little bit of it, at least with these two comps going against each other. I think there's a little bit of a skill gap here. Now, that could change based on Leal switching teams. So, does Leal have something else ready, or did Leal only practice Bart's follow-up attack comps? If so, you're in trouble. And usually when I say that, they immediately do a reverse sweep and win with that comp 3 times in a row. And then in the interview, I'd be like, man, I thought you were in trouble, but there we go. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. Mentioning that moves thing, in that last match, Luca ran that Elia down there, saw she wasn't quite where she was, went back, moved buffed, and then came back again. And Elia has some pretty insane range. I want to say that she probably could have hit that Bart's. She was pretty far away, but I feel like she was right there. She could have done it if she wanted to. But maybe just like 1 square away, because I don't know the distance on the squares there. But like I said, either way, the Elia was there. She was ready for anything that was going to happen, no matter what. So.
Yes. So Stag Impact has a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So range 5. She also has missile attacks, right? Like, she has Gunner Subjob. Now, Gunner Subjob, not the most reliable thing in the world. And basically every Elia we've seen has run the Subterfuge buff. So that means she's running, not Subterfuge, Shadow Dance buff, which means she's operative for her Subjob. So not running Missile. But Missile does have, I don't know, the same range. I'm looking at the range on her missile moves, and they are the same range as her strike moves, so there's really no gained advantage to running the missile. It looks like Luca is running back the team we just saw, and it looks like Leal. The attack value has changed. 50-40 is a different number. It's still Bart's, but Justin, are you ready for this? He's going to go Bart's Irvine something.
You just want that to happen.
I want that to happen real bad.
But yeah, it looks like both of them were in party formation. They're probably setting up their
initial placement for sure.
So we'll see. We're gonna get an interesting, potentially final match here, I believe.
Like Luca just doesn't need to change anything yet. And even if he loses this fight, he still probably doesn't need to change anything.
He's got 2 more tries after this.
Yeah, he's got 2 matches to play with right here. If you have some top secret comp, you don't even need to bust it out till 3 games from now. Although, just go ahead and bust it out now and let us enjoy that glory.
But yeah, it's interesting because once again, we sort of expected maybe an Immobilize to come out, but it did not happen.
Did not. It did not. Okay, so same comp from Luca, and all right. Leal says, I'm just going to go power on power. I'm going to bring out the Bradley. Now, Bradley, actually, this is really interesting because Bradley elemental advantage versus Elia. Now, look, elemental advantage versus Elia doesn't mean a lot. It just means you do and take a little bit more damage. But we're talking big numbers with Elia. So, okay, I understand all that. Bradley's still really good against her. Then Bart's has been his main man, so he's sticking with that. And then Zazan. So, Zazan, this is a Luca special, but Zazan elemental advantage versus soul and charm. He's a charming gentleman. We do have the spectator buff where we have to re-spectate every single match in this finals, which is okay.
We've never had to do
At
this
least,
before.
No, but we get back in every time, so it's actually not that bad. Now, let's look up, I'm going to look up some stuff about old Zazon the Killable here. Zazon has base move jump 4-1, so that's pretty cool. Then he can give himself Thief Lore, which gives him another move. So he can be move 5. Mix that in with the fact that he has Thief Sub with Steel Heart, and Steel Heart has range 3. So he can be 8 tiles away from someone and steal their heart. That is longer range than many missile attacks in the game. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, there's Alaya doing her buff that buffs every stat in the game and gives her courage. So that's a pretty good move. And then Slime will give an agility buff to his team right here, I think. Or he's already done that. No, there it is. Accelerate. So there's the agility buff. The one stat that Alaya's buff does not buff. Slime goes ahead and covers that. And now it's Zazon's turn. If my favorite TMR to run on Zazon is move jump +1, because then the man can cover the ground. He can get where he needs to get. So you just run him. You kind of just have him hang back, chilling behind your squad, and you make the enemy commit to kill him, which at 11.8k HP is not necessarily a guarantee. That was Treasure Hunter's Fortune. Right there, that was Locke's TMR. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe it's to counter the agility buff from Slime, perhaps. But we saw that on the evasion comp earlier. That's the only time I've ever really seen that buff ran is in the evasion comp. Maybe he was like, Luca was like, oh, I'm gonna get evasion or something. It didn't happen. Anyway, here's the magic critical evade, physical magic damage up buff for Soul. So there we go. He's chilling. He's got his haste on. He might start looking to close the gap. Excuse me, but you gotta have the range of Zazon in your head. Also, Bradley has decent range, and the follow-up attack is not only for missiles, right? Like that follow-up attack also counts for slashing attacks, striking attacks, magic attacks. It counts for anything. So you could go ahead and get Bart's follow-up attack turned on. I say that. Hold on. Does it only count for physical? No, I'm thinking of the physical shield right there. But I'll pull up Bart's again anyway, just to make sure. At this time of night, I start really doubting my own words, especially when I'm just filling time in during one of these things. So yeah, the follow-up attack is anything with the protect and shell disable on it. So there we go. Now it's Bradley's turn. He's got 61 AP. He needs to do something about that. He needs to generate a little bit more AP before he decides to go start fighting. So he will also give himself AP restore and the shield like Alaya can do. And now he's ready to rock. Wouldn't it be totally shocked to see Alaya counter with that exact same skill herself? That would be the normal play here, I believe. Bradley actually has elemental advantage against Slime and Alaya, which again, with Slime versus Bradley, it's not really a huge deal. Oh, protected shell. Now, interesting. Let's talk about the move Alaya just did right there, because it's not one that you see very often. So Alaya just did the buff, and I forgot what it's called. It's called Princess's Resolve. So that is a protected shell, and it upgrades your normal attack and your paralyzing strike. Now, paralyzing strike for Alaya is now it goes from a medium modifier to a large modifier in damage, and there's now a 45% chance to inflict paralyze on the enemy, up from a 25% chance. So interesting right there. Now the shield I don't know. You don't see Alaya use that skill all the time. Could be because the AI doesn't necessarily prioritize it. I believe I have it turned off on many of my auto Alayas. And then there's Zazon giving everybody Man-Eater on his team and unit attack resist, which isn't bad. Okay, Bart's your turn. 95 AP. You don't have your follow attack on yet. I think you want to turn that on before this fight breaks out in truth. So once again, Leal very in love with this spot of the map. Could move left, could move a different direction. I don't know. This is just a spot where he feels comfortable. We'll see. I don't love the pace of this fight so far. Very, very timid stuff here. There's Defiant Courage. So the follow-up attack is on this time. Not making that mistake again. Here we go. Bradley's turn, 91 AP. He is going to I would like to see him use his own Trustmaster right here. Give himself haste. He's kind of feeling out the range, though. He's seeing what he can do for damage, which he says nothing. And so he's going to just come back here and maybe put a little haste on. I would love to see the haste. No, he's going to go Subterfuge. So this is an evasion team? It's okay. Here's what this is. This is sneaky evade. This is Little Leela the Bold when she came out. This is Little Leela the Halloween when she came out, where you don't run full-on true evade teams, but you have enough evade built into the kit that occasionally you get a nice little dice roll in your favor. You get 4 and 4 when you need an 8, and then you dodge something. You dodge a really critical thing. That's what we're getting here, I believe, from this Zazan Bartz Bradley team. I can't imagine it's full evade, right? Like, this would be the weirdest evade team in history. I give mad props if this was a full evade team. It's already cool. Bartz Bradley Zazan was also not on my bingo card today, but we'll see. Oh, there's a Charm Nullify buff. Chat is saying there was a Charm Nullify buff that came out. I must have missed that. So, okay, if it was a 3-turn Charm Nullify buff, this team needs to get in there and start fighting, if that's the case. If you have 3 turns of nullifying Zazan's Charm, if I'm Leal, I'm chilling for 3 turns. I'm like, you got to come to me, man. I'm letting that buff wear off before I, get you in range of my Zazan, because that's his number one thing. Okay, Bradley, once again, looking at some numbers right here, see what kind of damage he can or cannot do. He decides he cannot do enough or any damage, and he will just do Hearts of Flutter. So there's the move, jump, and unit attack resist buff from Bradley. Notice that Zazan and Bradley have given themselves unit attack resist. That's good against Soul, and it's good against Alaya. Both of those units have their giant AoE attacks that are not really AoE attacks. They are actually single target attacks where you just pick the whole enemy team and then you single target each one of them individually. So that's how that works. Zazan finds himself in an interesting spot. He's considering a lot of things about life. He has the generic sword icon equipped. So this could be a Zazan just holding gear. There's the agility luck buff again. Man, oh man, really kind of leaning into the evade stats here on the Bradley Zazan squad. It's Bartz's turn next. So let's see what he does. He's still got his follow attack unlocked for 2 more of his own turns. There's only 30 turns left in this fight, and no one has smelled the other team yet. So this is the El Clasico of manual play where you just don't fight. Bradley gets the Keenblade. So again, Bradley was just here. He chose to stay here. Gets Keenblade. So he continues to stay here. Now he's going to move forward. Is he going to look to do damage? Doubtful. Well, let's see. Bradley, do something. Do damage, sir. Or continue to just be scared and hide. He's going to go in the hole. He's going to go in the hole. But is there damage he can do in the hole? Is there? I don't know. He's going to go Calculated Rend. That's big damage onto the Soul. Not enough to kill him, even with the follow-up attack. CT up on Soul. Now, Soul can heal himself when he attacks. He still has 6804 HP. He just took a lot of damage, and he's still at about 50% HP. And 50% of his HP is like Chew Knock. So, here we go. He moves forward. He's in range of those 2 boys right there. Are they evadey enough? This is the moment right here for Leal. Does he have the dodging power to dodge out of some of Soul's damage? We shall see. Soul is thinking. Soul's got to be careful he doesn't time out right here too. Oh, he's going to go momentum. He's going to put his haste back on. So the numbers must not have looked too good. And if the numbers don't look too good right here for Luca, you have the option of retreating and allowing the buffs to wear off, right? Treasure Hunter's Fortune has already been used twice, so that agility and luck is a big deal when it comes to evade. So you just run away and you say, hey, look, I'm going to let your buffs wear off. I'm going to give myself the nullified status effects right here from Slime, and I'm going to make you come to me instead of me coming to you for the 3rd fight in a row. I don't hate this play. I don't hate this play at all, if that is indeed the play. Now, Zazan, I don't know, man. Zazan, show me something. There's 26 turns left. Go stand up there. Go be a big hairy boy, Zazan. Go be the biggest, hairiest boy you can be. You killed a bear once, and you have a bear on your head, and I'm running out of words to say. But don't make me sit here for another 20 seconds talking about hares and bears. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio cutting open an animal and sleeping in the forest. I don't know. I'm confusing Star Wars and that one movie about Leonardo DiCaprio killing a bear. Okay, it's Elia's turn now. Elia is looking to do some damage. She's looking to do a little stag impact, but the numbers matter. Those evasion buffs are still very active. Those agility luck buffs are still very active. She says, I don't care, and she goes for it. Bradley dodges it, and Bartz doesn't take that much damage. Okay, now Soul moves in. What's Soul gonna do? I don't know. Maybe Luca just wasn't ready for evade. Once again, because this comp was not ready for evade last time he played it either. Pure chaos and destruction. It kills Bart. So down goes Ball. No, courage comes, but the chaotic healing heals him. So here's the state of things right now. You have a 1 HP Bartz as the only unit in the game with damage on them. But it's Leal's turn for Bartz and Bradley, and then it's Slime. Okay, Bartz is looking to do some DPS right here. We've seen very impressive damage from Bartz today. You got to be careful with the Elia. Her preemptive counterattack will kill you if it lands. Like if you try to hit Elia and she preemptive counters you and you don't dodge it, boom, you just get like gladiator thumbs down by the Emperor. So instead he goes for clean sweep, 6,500 damage. A little bit of a heal there from the blood sword. That heal's basically irrelevant though. It's not going to be enough to survive anything the enemy team has, maybe outside of like a slime attack or something like that. Now Bradley probably needs to try to kill Soul. I think that's on the table. You have the one chain, like you have a chain starter attack on him. You have a chaining attack, and you have the follow-up attack to finish him off. Can you find it? Calculated Rend. So there's 6,000 damage. That'll kill him, and he's dead. You don't even need the follow-up attack. There was no courage or anything there. Soul's down. Now look whose turn it is next. It's the little blue boy from Dragon Quest. He has Raise, or he has his version of Raise. It might bring Soul back to life. It might not bring Soul back to life. That's kind of how this works. What I'm going to say too is this. Even if it does bring Soul back to life, Bradley's going to kill him again on his next turn. I still think it's important to make Bradley do that. Oh, channeling time. Never mind, that buff might never get cast because Slime is Slime. Look out, King Bradley's here, and King Bradley has 2 swords and a calculated rend to apply to you, sir. So Slime charging something, Bradley considering something is gonna happen. Bradley steps up, Soul's body is floating midair. Bradley's looking at Slime and he says, I see a Slime. How much HP does Slime have? Not enough to survive that. Now, Slime does have courage, but the follow-up attack will kill him. And there we go. So Bartz's follow-up attack comes in clutch in killing Slime, and that looks like a GG. Now, have you guys ever heard that looks like GG against Elia before? And then the next thing you know, Elia kills your whole team? I've seen it happen. You've seen it happen. We've all seen it happen. Zazan, what you gonna do? Charm wouldn't be the worst thing here. Steal time. Okay, goes PvE mode. Steal time. Does it knock Elia down a peg? Does it? It does. Bartz will get a turn now. Bartz, you cannot outrange her at this point. Like, she's gonna be able to hit you no matter where you go. You're probably dead, but you do get a chance to do a little damage to her before you go. Zazan probably also dead. I imagine Stag Impact will kill Zazan. The question is going to be, can she hit Bradley with it from there, which I think is a yes. That was big damage from Bartz. I still think he's dead. If she's able to hit all 3 of them, kill Bartz and Zazan, not have to move, I don't know. Luca's thinking Bradley's gonna get to go no matter what, but she could range him, maybe like kill these 2 boys and then run away. I don't know. Let's see what this is. An interesting play from Luca. She's gonna go Stag Impact. This is what we anticipated. Bartz lives via the blood sword heal. Zazan dies and Luca's gonna run away. The problem is this: if you're Leal, you're totally cool with the runaway. Like, yeah, that's fine. I have 2 characters to your 1. I'll peace out. We'll let turns run out, and it's GG. I win. Now, right there, Bradley, that's not far enough. she can get you right there. So you have to attack. Calculated Rend comes out. Courage on. The follow-up attack buff has run off. So does Bartz have the range to kill her, or doesn't he? That's going to be the trick right here. He moves up. The counterattack proc does not happen. Clean sweep kills Elia, and that's it. Elia goes down. Leal switches from his missile team to a more meta team, picks up the win, and will force a game 4. There we go. GG.
GG. He pulled it back a little bit. That's good. You know, we always got to come prepared with other compositions here in the tournament, so it's good. I mean, I don't think it was going to work out any other way than switching it up a bit. So,
oh yeah, no,
there is a little hope.
There is. That one was a little slow for my taste. There was a little too much standing just out of range of each other and buffing. But it is what it is. Like, it ended up being Luca knew, like Luca moved forward a few times and looked at damage and just saw low hit chances, I'm guessing, and just did the only thing you could do at that point, which is not try. Well, not try that. You just have to wait, hope for buffs to run out, and hope things work out a little better for you when the switch ups happen. So there we go. We do not get the 3-0 sweep. We will have a game 4.
Yep.
Now, does Luca change?
I think Luca's probably going to run to the Bradley team.
I think so too. I like Bradley Elia better than Soul Elia myself. Although Soul didn't underperform. It was just, I don't know.
I don't know.
We've officially hit the point in the night when, you know, this is if you ever watch like big esports broadcasts, not saying that we are not a big esports broadcast. This is the biggest esports broadcast in tactical RPG gacha gaming on the internet. Right?
I don't know. I cannot confirm that statement.
I think it probably is. But if you watch maybe bigger esports broadcasts, this is the part where Justin and I get a break and they throw it to like the analyst desk to like break down the last match. Instead here, Justin and I just sit on the screen and talk about things. Sometimes we talked last week we talked about the definition of shinobi for a while, which is ninja, which is the keyword of today.
Yeah, they're totally the same thing. That's why they're different words, keywords. Anyway, so on that last match there, I mean, I don't know the range height for some of those Soul's abilities, but there was a pretty big difference between Soul and the whole buddies down there. So
there was. Oh my,
it's interesting. So yeah, I think I really would like to see the position switched. I know it's not going to happen, but I would like to see somebody in a different spot this match.
So would
We've seen the corner. We've seen the hill over there.
You know what would be cool? If the map was random. Like, especially in manual play.
Right, so the argument would be...
What if you get planes?
Oh, well, see, the argument would be, I didn't prepare for that. But then the counter argument would be, if you're a professional player, you should be able to counter whatever comes at you. So
exactly. And okay, I'll talk about like this. Before there was gacha gaming on phones and PCs, there was gacha gaming in the packs of cards world, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, these kind of things, you know. So you could just play in tournaments where you had pre-built decks, and maybe you like looked up the best deck online and you come in and you were like super prepared to play your element or whatever it was you played. But my favorite way of playing, you know, instead of calling it collectible trading card games, I'll call it analog gacha tournaments, is, you know, drafting, where you show up, you don't know what you're going to get. You open a pack and you're like, oh, I'm going to get this card. And then you get another card and you get another card. And the skill is building the deck on the fly, adjusting. That's real talent, in my opinion. Looking up the best deck to build on the internet and then wailing for that deck. I mean, are you even good? I don't know. Unless you're the person who figured out that was the best deck, then I would argue that you are. But that's like not who's there.
Right.
So yeah. If you can tell, when I was in high school, I did not have enough money to whale on Magic the Gathering. So I built rando decks out of packs from my local card selling store. And just would show up at tournaments and be like, yep, this is my blue deck.
I've heard
Built
of
it
people,
with my best blue cards.
So I've never really done trading card stuff, but I heard recently, not too long ago, I don't know what the term is, but more or less like printing out fake cards and like trying to use those.
Yeah. Yep. You can do that. Like printers are definitely good enough, but that would be, I imagine they check in like official tournaments. Yeah.
But that's like something that I never even really like thought that people would do. I mean, it makes sense in hindsight. I'm like, of course people would try to do that, but
yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're jumping into match 4 here, round 4.
Okay. Luca goes to a Zazon team instead of Slime. I like Zazon better than Slime. Slime really hasn't done much for me. It's basically been he does an agility buff and then it's just waiting. I do appreciate the quick push of the start button so we can very quickly get in here, DC, and then
I was just going to say we're going to have to reconnect anyway.
Okay, so what we have here is Zazon Bradley versus Zazon Bradley. But for Leal, you have Bartz, and for Luca, you have Elia the Alabaster. So, who's better, Bartz or Elia? I don't think we need to reconnect.
Yeah, we don't.
Wow.
That was a little preemptive there.
For this one, we get to see it straight from the get-go. All right. So Bartz moves into his hole that he always moves into and does Boko's protection. So AoE resist buff, physical shield for himself. Great, opening move for him. And then it's going to be Bradley's turn. Bradley's sitting at 46 AP. He's going to go Poise, 10 AP, Courage, and physical damage buff for himself. Very, very good. He's up to 74 AP, and he might just stand there. Honestly, he's in a pretty good spot to receive like group buffs from his friends and let them move forward. So I like Bradley just standing there. Or Bradley, just take your jeans and run up that hill. And those are actually dress pants, not jeans. He's wearing the bottom half of a military uniform and a nice white shirt with the sleeves rolled up. That's actually what he's wearing. Anyway, looks like jeans. So Leal's Bradley probably also going to cast Poise, get that Courage online. Sure, there's plenty of Courage removal in the game, but yeah, put your Courage on anyway. Get up there, make him knock it off of you. So Courage, physical damage up, boom, there it is. And we're off to the races. And by off to the races, I mean Bradley took one step forward and is now just waiting a while to push next turn. Okay, so Elia's up 12.7 KHP. And remember, the only difference in team comps here is Elia compared to Bartz. So, who's better? I think obviously in an auto battle format, Elia is going to be much better than Bartz, but there's potential to get more damage out of the Bartz with his follow-up attack. If you can get his AoE set up, something like that, then you can have Elia. I say potential because I wouldn't necessarily count on it, but are we seeing some evade again? And if so, did Luca run an Alexandrite ring on somebody? Bradley with an Alexandrite ring is going to pop off here. If it's like quasi evade again, and you're just hoping to like not get dodged out of an existence, Bradley, give him an accuracy item. Give him like one accuracy item. Let him calculated Rin with that thing, and you're just going to see great returns on that, I think. Okay, here's Bartz. He has 10.5 KHP, 69 AP. He does not have his follow-up attack turned on. He has his Courage buff on instead. So what's he going to do? He's thinking. He's going to go Relentless. So there's his Courage buff. Excuse me. He had his physical shield on. Now he has his Courage on. Still no follow attack buff. So Leal's really trying to take advantage of all three of Bart's buffs. This is something with Bartz that holds him back just a little bit in auto. Bartz is a great auto unit. Like, don't let me mislead you there. But one thing that Bartz can't really do in most auto matches is get 3 turns of buffs on. You have to kind of pick and choose which one you want to turn off. Oftentimes you lose the Courage buff or the follow-up attack buff. If you want to run follow-up attacks, you're going to need a couple of turns of buffing. We'll see. Bradley goes hate down. That's really something that's not going to do much on manual.
There's quite a big HP difference between these two Bradleys.
Yeah, 12k HP here. That could be reincarnations, right?
Yep.
What was the HP on the Alt Bradley? Do you remember? 10-5. So yeah, that definitely could be some reincarnations, or it could be some gear choices. But I don't know. I don't know. There's haste from Elia. So she now has haste. We'll see if she wants to expose herself to damage yet. She's kind of thinking about ranges right here. She's going to get, I think what she did when she moved was tested to see if she moves, will she still lap the enemy? If she moves there, it looks like she will. So that she will not. Again, that thing on the left, like it will lie to you a little bit sometimes, or at least mislead you. I don't know why she lost the turn order. Maybe somebody in chat understands that. Maybe. Anyway. Zazan does nothing, and now it's Bart's turn again. This time, I think he'll put his follow-up attack buff on. So prepare to see Relentless Courage, I believe is the name of the skill. I've seen it a lot. I think I have the skill name memorized by now, but I know it has the word courage in it. I know it turns on his follow-up attacks. He is still carrying the blood sword, and his healing was very important in the last fight. Like, his healing helped tilt that fight in his favor. So Defiant Courage, there it is. Slash attack, resist penetration online, follow-up attack online, and then doesn't move. Leal is married to this corner, like just married to it. Zazan's turn. Okay, Zazan dancing, doing his dances. He's sitting there, 12k HP, more than Bradley, because everybody knows that Zazan, the in-range unit, is a harder man to kill than Bradley. Not really, but he does give his unit attack buff right there, and he has a lot of HP. He's at least going to be hard to one-shot for units not named Elia the Alabaster, who probably still can anyway. Okay, Bradley's turn next. Zazan goes as far to the corner as possible. Bradley steps forward. He's looking to see if the calculated rend would be a good play right there on Elia. Decides it's either impossible or not a good play. And I bet he goes to the corner. Heart of Flutter. Now, this is a decent move to then the next turn open up damage with. I think what we've just seen from Leal is you put your follow-up attack buff on, then you put your move and jump buff on your Bradley, and now I think you're ready to start attacking. Those are the two buffs you cast when you want the next time you move to do damage to the enemy. Okay, so we'll see. Elia moves there. She's going to do nothing, which will allow her to go again before anybody on the enemy team. Bradley's turn next. Maybe he has a haste TMR. Maybe. Or maybe he also just chooses to do nothing. If I'm Luca right here, and this left side of the screen, okay, no, he is just getting calculated rend. So just starts going ahead and hitting the Barts. He does get CT up from that, and Elia can knock the CT down on her opponents. Zazan's going to move here. Zazan, he's going to go Keenblade. This is what I was thinking. So here we go. We're going to get CT manipulation from Luca's team. Keenblade into Elia knocking CT down potentially on the entire enemy team. We're just going to go for the wombo combo here. Luca's all in. He says, this is my moment. I'm going in. Stag impact, dodged by Bradley. Crucially, Zazan took like all of his HP and damage, but he didn't die. Okay, Bradley's up next. Here's the second half of the wombo combo. Who can you kill? Who doesn't die? I wouldn't mind if he actually could like hit from all the way over there. Courage. So you need to do 1 HP to 2 of those units, and then you want to do a little damage to the Bradley as well. Calculated rend will be, gets that accuracy buff. We'll see. Here it is. Boom, boom. So Bart's Zazan are dead. Enemy Bradley super low, and it feels kind of over right here. 2952 on the Bradley. What can he do? He is pretty dodgy. He's a dodgy boy, but that's a lot of praying to the RN Jesus right there to win this fight for Leal. He's looking at a mirror of himself, but a beefier mirror of himself. Then he actually just pops 2 courages. So, I mean, that of things that could happen, that was pretty good. Like, if courage was not there, you're now Bradley versus Zazan, and you don't hate your odds so much. But courage was there. And now it's Elia's turn. 1 HP. 1 HP in a dream. She's staring at Bradley. He's staring at Bradley, and Bradley's staring at Bradley, and Elia goes Dragon Flurry. Only one of them. Oh, wait, he dodged enough, and he got CT up, but the CT up was not quite enough to go before the enemy Bradley, who says, let's see here. Dodge this, but don't dodge this. Please don't dodge this, says Lucas Bradley to the other Bradley, who now has more HP than him, even though he had more HP than him before this. Okay, calculated Rend. That's enough damage to kill. Courage procs. And we are in a very interesting spot right here.
You know, I find it interesting that he ran the Elia next to the Bradley.
Yes,
running away.
It's like, I feel like he was trying to set up some impossible calculated Rend placement, and I think that did it. I don't think he can hit them both. Like, can he target just to the side, like just to the left of where he's standing, and hit them both from right there? Maybe? Or is the other Bradley just out of range? This might have been a really smart play by Luca. We're going to see calculated Rend. It hits in a cross-shaped AoE. And I think it only has like range 2 from the center. Yeah, it's only range 2 from the center. So he can only hit 1. Now that will give him CT up, which will lap the Elia, but not the Zazan. So, and it only laps. Okay, Zazan, this is it. Zazan, if you kill him, it's over. Do you have the accuracy, Zazan? Or do you just steal his heart? Do you go for the charm? Do you just say, hey, 1 HP friend, you want to check out these guns right here? How do you like this bear I just killed? Does it make your heart beat faster? You see this beard, this chest hair? He goes for steal time. That's probably a better play. As long as that puts him down below Elia, that was probably the correct play. It does. And now, here's Dragon Flurry. That'll kill him. And that thing got really interesting at the end. Luca does pick up the win. Zazan with the clutch steal time, as I was memeing about stealing his heart. Zazan says, I ain't got time for that mess. I'm just going to steal time. That's a GG. That's a win. And that is Luca earning his way into the grand finals next month with his second live stream tournament win and first 2023 championship live stream tournament win. So GG Luca, and that was a great fight. Great. That went from a stomp to very competitive when Leal changed up his teams, and that made it way more fun to watch.
Congratulations, Luca, once again being a champion here. Unfortunately, you can't get 2 titles. It should say like ×2 on the end of it.
Yeah, he should just get like it should be like chroma title now. Like it should like shine brighter or something.
I like that. But yes, congratulations. We will be doing an interview with both participants here. That was pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Luca did lose that one, there was still another match to go. So
yeah. I also got like Woodstock wins, which people might remember from previous tournaments or like from my live streams and stuff. Sent me a message on Discord saying that the turn order on the left for spectators does not update the same way it does for players. So a lot of times when we're sitting here wondering like, why does that like it kind of lied to me right there. Well, they know. They can apparently see the correct version of that. I've only ever been on this side, right? Like I've never gotten to play in any of the tournaments. So that's news to me that we just don't quite get that update. But that's good to know right there. Again, learn something new every time you play in these things. Learn 2 new things today. All right.
Indeed. Thanks for watching, guys.
So now
this is Luca. Well done, Luca. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
now we're just waiting
sweaty. There was a few sweaty moments during this tournament. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
You know, them sitting there going, oh, God. Their phone's wet. It's slipping out of their hand. Oh no.
Oh, that's why they lose, because they they drop the phone as a sweat just gets them.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're getting their microphone set up.
We'll see what was going on internally.
The Bradley almost 1v3 at the end of that last fight was.
That was a little intense. And imagine if there was a reflex there.
Yeah,
things would have got a little crazier.
That was one reflex. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's crazy that Bradley has still had such a dominant force since the day he came out in the tournament. He's been in like every tournament multiple times.
Dude, the unit's insane. Like he is That's a buff boy right there. Elia, I think, is probably a little bit more overall powerful than Bradley is, especially in autoplay. But notice how like he was able to use Bradley's like lunging attack that gives you that CT up to try to.
Yeah, that was smart. I mean,
again,
there was no
that
other
was-
way that he could have done that.
Yeah, that was a really good play. I think
You
the
know,
one thing you could have done differently is not face Bradley with his back to Elia on the last turn.
Yeah.
Bradley,
You know,
yeah.
Like I said, it was interesting because the Elia and the Bradley were both apart. Elia attacked, and then he moved Elia right next to Bradley.
Yeah,
I've
set
found-
up
instead
the
of just-
Bradley moving.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. I
run
thought it was
Elia
interesting.
farther away, maybe.
Indeed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get ready for the interview. Once we get the thumbs up, we'll be interviewing Leal first here.
Okay. This is the part where, I need to like check my microphone settings in Discord. Discord loves to redo my settings.
Indeed. So let's switch on over right now, and then we can get ready for that.
Let's do it.
Hello.
Oh, we got a microphone problem here.
Yeah.
Hello. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Hello. Yes, we can. Hello.
Oh, hi, Auronnj and Justin.
Hello.
Leal, GG, man. Good. That was that Bradley in the last fight had me believing for a second.
But I don't think so. It's hard to beat one versus three.
Yeah, one reflex. Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so congratulations. You got second place. That's very well done. You certainly had a very strong composition with the follow-up attack with the Barts. That worked very well for you. So did you sort of realize that Luca was ready for that composition? Is that why you changed it out?
What is it again?
Sorry, you were using the Bart's composition, with the Lilith, and then you changed it while you were fighting Lucas. Did you realize that like Luca was maybe ready for that, or?
Yeah. He has immobilized his stand 25% with me.
Yeah.
So my comp is less effective against him.
Gotcha. Yeah, so like when you made your second team, were you just saying okay, you still used Bart's. And so were you just gonna use Bart's no matter what? Like was Bart your guy this tournament?
Yeah, he my guy. He only max reincarnate unit. My
Your
only
only?
max reincarnate unit.
Your only max reincarnated unit? is that what you said?
I mean, you are.
You are, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he almost got you the win. I mean, there was a couple times in that tournament where Bart's was hitting people for 12, 13k damage, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, there we go."
Yeah, he OP.
Yeah, all right.
I like that. So yeah, congratulations once again here. You did very, very well. You had a lot of battles today.
Thank
so
you.
Could you maybe just tell us a little bit about your strategy early on? Where did you learn how to do the like follow up and that sort of stuff?
First, you need to study unit, right? But length of follow up, something like that.
All right.
That's
Yeah, put the
Yeah,
missile
that-
units
that is-
next to Bart's follow-up attacks. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's T
Yeah.
space. But
All right. Well, we usually give everybody a chance to shout out anybody who helped them prepare. Shout out any like guild mates. Any shout outs you want to do. It could be for anybody.
yeah, I shout out to Ursalet and Swicer. Those two help me practice for this tournament.
All right.
Yeah, and Discord PvP, live PvP community. Yeah, a lot of good manual people here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, join the live PvP discords. There's a lot of people in there that are very eager and happy to do PvP.
And help you learn it if you don't know.
Yes.
Like if you're feeling uncomfortable with it, they'll help you learn.
Yeah, people, they're really nice.
All right.
New
Well,
player.
yeah. Well, thank you very much. Any last words you want to say before we end the interview?
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. Low though. So, GG anyway.
Yes, GG.
Thank you for tournament.
Of course. Thank you for
Yeah.
participating.
Nope. Thank
like
you.
I said, you did very well.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And congratulations once again, second place.
Thank goodbye.
Thank you.
See you, Leal.
Bye. All right. So we're just waiting for Luca to join now. Tournament manager here should be setting this up very quickly.
Yeah, I do think like the manual PvP Discord, if you guys don't know about that, there are definitely people in chat like JB hanging out right here that could maybe link that thing in the chats. I don't have I mean, I guess I could. Hold on. I could find it, but I don't want to if I don't want to click out of the interview room here. It is if you are interested in manual PvP, there's a lot of people there that are also very interested in it, very into it, and it is a whole part of the game that if you get into it, you will there's a rabbit hole to go down there if you want to go down it. I guess what I'm trying to say, and you might have a lot of fun. So link that Discord in the chats if you're in it right now, and then we will talk to Luca right now.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
It was a lot of
GG,
fun
sir.
time. I must say it was really a lot of fun. Leal
All
was
right.
really a good opponent. I was being a bit bored at the start because the both of my last matches were versus gunners, and I think it gets boring, camping, waiting turns. But then we started killing each other with Sirius, Bradley, and other people. It was fun.
Okay. Yeah. That last fight was you had only Bradley left on Leal's team, and you had all
Yeah.
3 of your units at full health, and then Bradley just one-shot 2 people, popped the courage, and it was like one reflex away from getting real weird.
Yeah, I think Bradley is still one of the best manual units we have here. I tried showing a bit of Soul too, but it's a bit harder to use because it's very tanky, but he really suffers a lot from barrier breaking, shield breaking. So once he loses his shield, it gets harder, and he has very low mobility. We are now used to units like Kalaya and Bradley that really run the map. They have a huge range, and in manual play, it is really a big advantage.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and Soul's shield was good against the missile teams because they couldn't break it, and then the follow-up attack doesn't apply, right? Like Bart's can't.
It's a bit more complex than this because Solid himself is not strong versus gunners, as he has a weakness to gunners. But truth is, my Soul was built with 70% unit res in build. So basically, I wasn't afraid of single target attacks, and he has also a bit of area res. And with Alaya, he can survive both type of attacks.
Yeah. So would you have preferred to fight against an Alaya type of team with your Soul then, with all that single target resist?
Well, it is definitely easier to go versus Alaya and versus Strike. But I think he can hold his own. I also think I'm still not too used to him, so probably I didn't play it really, really well. I can probably play it in better, but I need more time.
Okay, so here you go. All right, Luca, I got a question for you. So you won a tournament a while ago, right before the official ones started, and then you won this one. So you've entered 2 tournaments and you've won them both. Are you going to win the finals in December?
I don't know. I think you see in this tourney, all people that were in this tourney were really strong players. I think all of them were from the PvP Discord, and but I don't think there is such a thing like being really stronger than other manual PvPers. We're all strong the same. It really depends on the map, on the day, on how many beers you got before playing.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I have a question.
Expect some strong competition. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what? Sorry?
I was just gonna follow up with a question when Auronnj was done. That's all.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. So you had some pretty intense matches today, all day long. One of them was you fighting that evade team.
That was probably one of the hardest matches.
Right. So it seemed like there was a lot of you checking percentages and that sort of stuff. Were they really pretty bad? Did you not have a lot of hope that you were going to hit them at all?
No, actually, I did one mistake in that fight, and it was at the very last turn when I tried to hit with Leia. I had 50%, so I thought, okay, maybe she will hit. But the right move would have been casting Shadow Dance to shield her. So that was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, I mentioned that too. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that you decided to attack instead of like running off or doing something else.
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Thing is, all my teams are built to be able to go versus any type of comp. So all the teams you've seen tonight were all built with aim build, aim runes. They had aim gear. So I just tried to make comps that were able to take out any type of opponent.
Okay. So what, like, when you were fighting that water evade team, for example, what kind of % chances of hitting were you seeing when the team was at the end of the fight, like their buffs had worn off, there was no more agility luck buff going on, it was just kind of straight up stat versus stats. But when they were first getting in range of you and you were kind of dodging back and forth, kind of looking at the numbers, what % of chance did you have of landing attacks?
It was fluctuating because when I used the TMR, the one with aim up, I started to be able to hit with 70%. Thing is, I tried to use Dragon Flurry skill because it is multi-hit, so that I was hoping for at least one of the hits to land. Usually, I always try to use multi-hits when going versus evade because it's more possibilities of any of the hit hitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had good percentages, around 70% with buff. But it was a really hard fight because I had other comps I didn't bring tonight that were better versus evade.
Sure.
So yeah, it is a matter of luck too.
We were surprised to see Chunok and farm. That was very surprising on our end.
Yeah, it was really surprising. Yeah, yeah, it was, and I was a bit unprepared. I wasn't expecting it.
You put on quite a show today. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people were very happy with that. That Bradley that ran up first move, wiped out the two of them. That was very.
Oh
fun.
yeah, I was very angry.
Yeah, that's what somebody said in chat. They said Luca's mad now.
Yeah, but it worked.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They never put their units over there again. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah, I think so. But because you see, Bradley has 120 agility, so it's really easier for him to start before the opponent. It's hard to see with cost limit 230. It's harder to find someone faster than him. So I could control that part of the map.
I see. Well done.
It worked. Yep.
So yes, you've won 2 tournaments. You're going to be in the finals. I hope you're prepared, getting ready for that, and that goes well. Is maybe anybody? We always give everybody the chance to do like a shout out, that sort of stuff. So please, if you would like to say thanks to anybody or anything else you would like to say, please.
Yeah, I want to thank all the people that helped me testing teams. I did a few tests yesterday and today with Francesco, Mattia, and Vince Sirio. They are 3 players from my guild, Hydra. They were really, really important because they let me test all my camps. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, thank you to those people as well. You guys bred a winner here twice in a row.
That's right.
Maybe a third time. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, how you didn't know that you weren't going to the finals. So you decided to participate because you thought you were already.
Yeah, I wanted to have the chance to go. I'm sure in the finals we will be all very good players, so it will be fun.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
My advice for anyone trying to do manual PvP and watching is always the same. Come to the PvP Discord, start playing with us, start doing free match, and have fun.
Yes,
all right.
You've heard it here, and you've heard it multiple times. Join the Discords, join the community. They're very happy to help everybody out and get everything.
Yeah, because it's a good community.
Yes. All right. Well,
Awesome.
Luca, thank you very much, and congratulations, first place.
Sir.
Once again, enjoy your double title.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Have a
All
great
right.
one.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, back here.
All right. Yeah, very interesting. I like that. I like that he said that he was mad. That was funny.
Yes. Well, because I mean, like, that's the same feeling that like everybody gets that feeling when you're playing these like manual matches and everybody you're playing against is just like chilling in the back and you're like, all right, here we go. I'm coming. Yeah. So that's it. I love that. That was great. It sprung him forward for sure. Got him the win.
Yeah, it really
anger.
did.
Just channel that.
No, that's how you start villain arcs.
The Dark Luca. Dark Luca with the... Yeah, he win, though.
He did win. All right, so a few more things here before we close out. Just wanted to do a reminder here. So Luca was the winner here for the first place prizes. Gets a trophy. I don't think we gave a trophy out for the very first one. So this is going to be his first trophy. Another in-game title. And yeah, these awesome rewards. He's going to be in the finals. Everybody's going to get a t-shirt today. Everybody's going to get a title of some form. So it's pretty amazing.
Everybody but us, Justin.
That's true. Although I have a jacket. I've got a bunch of other t-shirts. I got a hoodie. I got a hat, a phone case.
You have a hoodie?
And I met Addison Rae, so I mean, I don't know.
Man, I want a hoodie.
Yeah, I got one of the Japanese ones. They're pretty rare, I guess.
Dude.
But yeah, anyway. What was I gonna say here?
This was the last qualifier tournament, and now
yes,
we have only the finals ahead of us. The year 2023 is almost over, and it goes out with 2 champions, both of whom will have enough Visior to pull whatever they want for a little while.
Indeed, 100,000 is quite a bit. Plus, second and third place also get a decent amount as well. So yes, it's going to be the battle of the century on the continent of Ardra. There's going to be tougher battles in these world finals than anything Mont or Jaden has ever faced.
That's right. That's right. Or Glassy or Stern had some rough times. It's probably about as hard as Stern's childhood.
Indeed. So yeah, we have these viewer rewards here. So please check the videos out afterwards. Share the link around. Let your friends and family know so we can all get these rewards. I expect to see a yellow Shardalus, so please do so. We need these items.
Absolutely.
Just final reminder here. This is a secret keyword. It is ninja. So enter that in the link. Fill that out. It's only going to be open for a few more minutes, and I'm being serious about that. 20 minutes from now, you're not going to be able to fill it out. So do it right now.
Yep.
Ninja, yes. But yeah, that's going to basically do it from me today. We've had a very awesome tournament. These manual tournaments, they tend to go on a little bit longer than the auto tournaments, but it's always very interesting what happens. Like what we've seen today would have never happened in an auto tournament. So it was very nice. So yeah, any last thoughts from you, Auronnj?
Nope, it was a good one. Can't wait for the finals. It's really weird to me that the finals are here. I feel like we just started this not too long ago.
It does feel that way, huh? But
yeah, because like
first one was in January, February.
I don't know. It sort of just feels like this is something that you and I just do every month now. Like it just sometime in the month, I'm like, oh yeah, Justin and I have to do our tournament thing. And I just tell my wife, I'm like, look, I can't do anything on this Saturday. What? Why? I'm like, look, very important business. So these are very important business. And next month we have 2 of them.
We do.
So double important business.
Yeah, the streams next month should be very exciting. So please tune in. There's probably going to be a lot of other stuff going on at the same time. So yeah, it'll be a great time to be watching. But yeah,
that's all I got.
That's it for me. Thank you very much, everybody out there, for watching. Thank you very much for the participants that joined today. And congratulations to Luca, once again, for being the first place winner of the Gouga Cup. I'm just going to check Discord, make sure nobody's saying, hey, what about this? Oh, there was something. There is an opinion box channel open on Discord. So please head to the official Discord server, the PvP official Discord server. Check out the opinion box. Give your opinions. Those are certainly read and digested.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will see you in a couple weeks for the auto battle tournament on December. I don't know dates.
Yeah, me neither.
December 9th.
Have that written down.
On December 9th. I guess it's like a month from now. But yeah, we'll see you on December 9th for the Auto World Finals, and then the 16th for the Manual World Finals. But yeah, that's it. That's all we have today. So thank you very much for tuning into the War of the Visions, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius Championship 2023, the Gouga Cup. We will see you all next month. Bye for now. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Bye.